seconds. Oh shit.
Wait, what?
Where is our audience? Come back.
Get me.
Oh, it's back now?
Okay, cool. Yay.
What is happening?
See, it's an important episode, and they choose to annihilate us.
My fan ain't on. It's too hot for these issues.
I know. I agree.
Facts.
All right, we begin now.
Okay.
Countdown, Cameron.
Wait, are we back? Are we back? We're good?
We're back.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 122 of the Rusty Rupees podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Darren. With me, I have the boys, Justin.
PAX was fine.
Deontay.
I sound like shit.
And Cameron.
Everything hurts apart from one part of my body only. Can you guess what part that is?
Your beard?
My feet. My feet don't hurt. Why is that?
Wait,
oh,
what?
Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you.
This
I already
Fuck
ordered
you.
It's sponsored by Crocs. Comfortable,
You know what?
fashionable.
I'm not even gonna lie. My feet don't hurt. My
Every
fucking
man's
calves hurt. My calves kill,
mine.
bro.
Oh, definitely.
No, Cam, fuck you. Absolutely.
With Darren's flag bomb.
Monkey.
Yes, I am. That's why I ordered some. You're right. I ordered some from Amazon, but I did that try before you buy shit. It will be here on Friday.
I
What
too
you try
ordered
before you
some.
buy? You
I
can
too ordered
literally
some from Amazon.
Put the shoes on, and if they don't fit, you send them back.
It was a feature. Shut the fuck up, Cameron.
Don't
Let me
worry
enjoy
about
my
it.
Crocs when I get them, you asshat. You
You
comfortable
see, like,
asshat.
Kwanzaa bot in the chat. He's all like, bro, I fucking feel you. But he also says I'm half the reason. And you know what? He's correct. He is correct. I insisted. What was it? That morning that we go, when we went down to Bagel Bitch?
Biscuit bitch.
Biscuit Bitch. I'm sorry. I'm getting like Cam. I wanted specifically biscuits and gravy too. That's wild. But when we went down there, we decided to wait on you guys to see if you guys were going to come down.
Before you start that, we were at PAX this weekend, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like, before
We didn't tell them.
No, we went to PAX this past weekend. PAX West 2022. Overall rating before going into anything, it was the shit.
Yeah,
I
it
loved
was fun.
this weekend. I love everybody that we met there. Everybody who may happen to be in the stream right now listening. If we met you this past weekend, reconnected, you guys found out about the group. Thank you guys.
You guys
Holy
were
shit,
fantastic.
You guys honestly made us feel like fucking rock stars this past weekend. Like, not trying to gas us up or anything like that. Like, the way and the amount of love that we were getting from just meeting you guys on just initial contact. Fuck. That's all I have to say on that.
It's a great
Next
world.
time
And you guys are great people.
Next time I leave my house, I'm about to act like I don't know nobody.
Stupid.
No, but for
I've
real,
been
it
telling
was
y'all,
really
bro,
fun.
we halfway there. I'm
Bro.
halfway to acting real different.
Cameron Friday night when we went down to the Sheridan bar. Bro, Cam's bewilderment of the people that I had known or connected with, he was just like, what? What is happening?
Yeah,
Friendship.
Darren knows way too many people.
The funny thing is, Cameron, that's gonna be you next year.
With
Shoot,
the Polish
well,
specifically.
With the
it-
Polish specifically.
It started. Well, I was saying to Darren, it started to get that way by the end. So in the beginning, walking into places and no one, knowing who we were and having to be introduced to people. To then,
Darren is
by the
creepy.
end of it, the last event, it's like, damn, we know hella people in this room now.
Right?
Like
Yeah,
we were essentially walking
more.
from person to person and like walking up to them, saying their name, and
At
then
a
joining
certain
another
point-
group with them.
Yes, exactly. At certain points, I was just spinning in a circle of conversations.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
Boom, boom, to boom. And I was just like, oh, and then everybody's in the same conversation. Now I was like,
And
Hi,
freaking-
Mad
everybody.
fun. It was mad fun. It was pretty good vibes out there. I like
yes. And speaking of just because I know you're out there in chat right now, bro. Trobs Monkey, fucking dog. You are a fucking hype man Sunday night, bro.
Yeah, he was
Shout
the
out
goat.
to you.
For sure.
Shout out to you.
Amazing
Oh my
human being.
goodness.
But
And it was like one of those chance meetings, right? We just ended up both at the bar and the party and sparked up conversation, and just it was on from there. It's like, wow, this person's cool. Okay, let's
He
talk a
too
little
likes
more.
to
Wow,
drink.
this person's really cool. Then,
Right. But yes, we had a whole fucking weekend. As chaotic as this episode probably would be otherwise, we have work to do specifically during this episode
Yes,
because
sir.
we have obligations because we got those media passes. We had to set up appointments. We had to see things, talk to people, and holy shit, it was fucking fun.
It was fantastic, y'all. Like, I mean, we went out there for work, but everything I did was for pure pleasure. I tell you that.
oh my God, can you make that sound just a tad less dirty?
He got leaned all the way back
No.
in the Corsair chair.
Nah, nah. I needed y'all to feel that. Everything. Like, I was actually telling one of my coworkers today. Like, I've never had so much fun being in pain
Bro,
in my entire life.
I agree. I
Like,
agree.
Bro, by the end, like, even now, bro, I'm not even gonna hold you. This might be TMI. I got 2 balls on my feet, and it ain't alright. Like, it's not cool. But
Oils.
boils, dog, like,
I
it's
wanna say
horrible.
that's probably the most okay TMI warning you've given us. Like,
Oh, that's
It's
fair.
all right.
That's fair.
What you need to do is you need to
Um,
pop them on TikTok and let that shit
I
go
will
viral.
fight both of you.
Viral. Those videos get millions of
Oh,
views.
No, I am not doing
Stop
that.
it.
I'm not that guy. Nope.
Are we friends?
Pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it.
Stop.
No. Oh,
Stop.
God.
Anyway,
All right.
but yes, it was fantastic.
Yes. And so, just to keep things in train, we are going to go over the different booths we went to. If it's a game that we knew we had an appointment for, we have a obligation to talk about that, give you our impressions of it, let them know how we felt about things, because this is all feedback for them as well. And overall, the interviews that we had, the people we got to talk to, it was educational. We got to get the different side of things, and this is the feeling I had 2 years ago when I went to PAX East and it was just me, but I feel because we had so many more opportunities and we specifically were getting emails about stuff instead of me kind of fishing for things, is like all of us had our own different experiences, and that's why I know this year was a little bit hectic, but us being able to experience our own different games by ourselves, or if we grouped up just to get impressions of stuff, we all come back with different things that we can talk about. And so instead of everybody going in like, hey, did you like this? It's like, what did you try? Because I tried this. So,
Right.
you know, it's a whole different feeling of things.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
so-
Lots and lots of work, but it was all well worth it. It was fun. I got to try some great games across all 4 days, actually, Friday through
Mhm.
Monday. I played some really cool games, and I'm excited to let y'all know about them.
Right?
Yeah, and the thing is, there's actually so much information that we're essentially about to spew that, like, yeah,
You have no idea how much of a whirlwind tornado my mind is right now. I listed off
Bro.
different names and faces, and Justin was like, "What the fuck, bro?"
So wait, hold on, real quick. When we were down in the in our hotel bar, and yeah, you know what story I'm about to tell you, asshole. And the reason why he's an asshole is specifically because of this. This man, while being intoxicated, was able to give me a full rundown of somebody he met last night. Like someone he had never met before, while he was intoxicated, heavily, mind you.
Heavily.
And literally when I was like, hey, Darren, and the thing is, I asked him because I also know he can do that, but I didn't expect it to the extent in which he did it. Like, I thought he was just going to give me like this short. No, this man gave me essentially the guy's resume. Like I was like, hey, Darren, who is this guy? And he was like, oh, this guy is. I was just like, hey, Darren, sir, how?
I don't remember who we're talking about.
How did you do that? And he was just like, and this is what I do. And I was like, God damn it.
My guess is that it was probably one of the group from the first night that we went down to the bar, Darren. So someone that was at that
oh, it was Finn.
Gosh,
it was Finn.
Okay.
It was Finn.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, because it was the interesting name choice. I was like, Darren, who's Finn? And he was like, oh, no, and literally gave me an entire backstory on Finn, bro. Like,
when we drink, and I need to go out with y'all at a con sometime. Definitely, when the next PAX, next thing that we can go to, I'm talking to fucking Crashing Game Night, Cheesy Controller, all of our friends that do this podcast and shit. We need y'all there.
Bring your ass.
Bring ass.
Bring ass.
Bring ass.
Because, bro, like I said, when
start saving now.
After we actually go through all 4 days and Cam's like special 5th day, like you're going to see how many connections we made, like, and it's mind blowing to say the least.
Bro, I'm gonna literally my mind is very blank right now, but as we go through this, I know names are gonna start popping into my head, what their position is, what they do, and but it's so, there was a lot of information to take in this past week.
It really was.
No, learning for the future. We are fucking recording every goddamn night just to get it out the way, because holy shit.
Yeah, that was the original intention, and then alcohol.
I was about to say, like, we would have to record as soon as we leave the con,
alcohol,
and then go back out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Recording at PAX, yes.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, recording at PAX. Yeah.
Yes, Trobs. Initially,
but alcohol.
Exactly.
Hey, man, that's what happened. It was. Hey, but I will say this.
I regret nothing. I regret nothing.
I was just about to say that.
I regret a little.
I will.
I regret a little.
But see, that's fair.
Yes.
That's fair. I too regret nothing.
I got the most destroyed.
Yes, you did. We're not talking about.
No, they got to see a little bit of my superpower because I made it home, and they still don't know how. Or I made it back to the hotel. And in my current state, Darren's still kind of confused about how I was able to do that. But
I sent him back up to his room, and he went. Did it go initially the way I wanted to? Because he was like, "No, you got to go to the bathroom, bro." Yeah, I do. Go up to the room and go to the bathroom. Okay, walks away. Never see him for the rest of the night.
That night, Darren essentially told both Justin and Deontay, I think, walk. And they were both gone. But I don't want walk. I don't want to walk.
No.
Justin asked.
I wanted to go home. I wanted to go home.
I saw Justin, he was kind of slunched over in the chair. I was like, "You tired, bro?"
Yeah. Justin was staring into the actual abyss. I remember looking over at Justin, and Justin's just there.
No, remember what I told you? That last drink we got, I took 2 sips of it and was gone. No, and mind you, the drink we had was about this big.
You had a terrible day the next day.
Normally, I drink in place of Justin. If we're handed 4 shots, sometimes I'll have 2 shots and Justin will have no shots. We have that kind of relationship.
Yes, but yes, Justin was given permission to go back to him. I was like,
Hey.
He was like,
I did good.
You did do good.
I did good.
I might even say you did great, sir.
You did fantastic, sir. You went from par to par, my friend. You were there for a minute. You did good. You did it. Yes.
I appreciate you.
I did the drinking thing.
I saw you take shots of things that I would never think that you would drink, and multiple times.
He was living the moment.
Hey,
Did you have any tequila?
Yeah.
Yes, of course he did. That
was some of the first stuff. See, and do you know what it was? Do you know what it was? Justin was riding the high of that night,
bro. I look honestly, I could have tripped, stumbled, broke my leg, and I would have went to the hospital like this is the best fucking night ever.
No, I think that night too. I think fucking Scott had moved my chair out the way, and I fell back.
Oh yeah.
I popped up so fucking smoothly, and they were like, "Yo, I'm sorry, bro. That was me." I was like, "It's good. You saw how I popped up." He's like, "I did that. You did that." I'm like, "There you go, man. I'm sorry."
He's indestructible.
Good, bro. Whatever. But I'm just like, this
there's the tumble roll guy. He's
The
like,
fact-
trip, tumble, roll.
The fact that
can't do that
friendships
no
are
more.
able
I
to
got
be
32
forged
year
like
old
that,
knees.
and like you and me, know me, I don't give a fuck, and they just see like, damn, he really don't give a fuck. It's good, okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was dope. Our weekend was dope, and now let us collectively come together now.
Here we go.
It's into the meat and potatoes. That was.
Potatoes.
There will be wildness throughout this episode still, of course, because that is what we do. But we must be slightly professional at this point now.
This is about to be a long episode, yo.
God.
I disagree. I think we'll get through it fine.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
All right.
Yes. Anyway, day 0, we land. It's Thursday. It's a good day. We have nothing going on. We're just enjoying our day. Cam and Justin land early. Me and Deontay take a while longer. Probably get there around 5 or so. Chill. Blah, blah, blah. We have an event.
Justin leave me at the airport, but that's a story for another day.
Story for another day. Another day, indeed. But
What's this
We-
event you said, Darren?
we have an event to go. Mind you, Justin didn't want to do shit this past weekend. I'm going to bust him out for this. I told Justin, yeah, we're going to these after parties, the stuff that I signed us up for, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, that's, hey, you guys can go to that. You know, it's
Y'all
not my
can do that.
scene. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no.
No.
This is a group activity, my friend. We going to go.
I'm tired of explaining that we're 3 of the 4 rupees, bro.
The amount of times that we did, like, count which ones, and then we all pop in at different times was great.
That made it. That made shit better when a motherfucker would just kind of show up and be like, "This is him," and they'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Ah!"
That's
That
true.
happened so much.
That actually happened a lot.
But so this event that we went to, that Cameron, who initially sent it to the group, did not sign up for, and I was the only one to have done so. And luckily, we go to said event, and everybody's able to go in. It was a great time.
Yo, can I just say real quick, we were dubbing all fucking weekend.
Until the end.
We were getting
Until the
miraculous
end.
dubs
I couldn't-
all weekend.
I couldn't get Lionel in that last party, but
Oh yeah.
but aside from
I
that,
feel
it
like
was
we
all
could. I
dubs.
feel like we could.
I
a
honestly,
little bit into the party at first. Sure, we couldn't. But
if we
I
had
feel
waited
like,
a second, we could have
Yes.
definitely got him in.
Yeah.
Because at that
it was-
point, we were the shit in that place. So everybody's like, "Hey, your friend come in. Oh, you're so yeah." Like, I'm sure that would have
Like,
happened.
they didn't give me my wristband when I first walked up there because of the little confusion shit.
Oh,
Oh.
So I left and then I came back and there was this whole moment where they're all like, "No, bring him in, let him in."
okay.
Him,
See,
him right there.
him right there, him cool. But so this said event was Naughty Dog / Moth and Wolf presented whiskey tasting for The Last of Us. It was a good whiskey.
It
I
was a
enjoyed
great
it thoroughly.
whiskey.
Justin does not like alcohol, and all night he was like, "Hey, yo, this is really good."
But I will say this: I will do a great whiskey, and and the guys know because I love me some Yamazaki 12 and 18.
Yeah.
So I will sip on some whiskey, and the whiskey they brought around, oh that shit was smooth.
Right.
That shit was so
Yamazaki
smooth.
12 is an 18, respectively, or both. On the better end of the Japanese whiskeys. What we had this night was a Scotch whiskey, and boy, for a Scotch whiskey,
It was
that
warm.
bitch did not kick my ass like how other Scotch whiskeys would. I did not mind sipping on that at all.
I was
Whereas-
slightly sad that we didn't get another round of it.
I thought we were going to get
Oh,
another round.
yeah, good
honestly,
I thought we
point.
were gonna get
whatever.
another
There were more down there as we were at the bar. I think we were getting our goodie bags around that time.
But
I
all
saw
the
that there
drinks were
more
made with
there.
the whiskey, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right.
And the
I think
drinks
they
were very good too.
I just wanted another straight.
What's it called? Moth and Wolf.
Moth and Wolf.
Mhm.
Also,
It's sold out right now. We couldn't. They weren't selling them there, but they're sold online. I
Hop
tried to
on
look this
that.
morning, and they're sold out right now. So
Hop on that waiting list.
yes,
friend.
that's exactly what I did because that was a good ass whiskey. I want a bottle just to sit there and look pretty, and one to just take in because it was good.
there were 4 magical words spoken to me that night. And those magical words were mac and cheese balls.
Oh, right?
Those
No,
mac and cheese
bruh,
balls
were
was so
They were
good.
good, bro.
Everything they served at that
Little
event was
hors d'oeuvres
fucking
that were
great.
going around were great.
Yo, hey
Oh.
Cam. I will say that
We
we
went
smashed
in.
us. We smashed us some of them, dog. Like,
I was so hungry as well, dog. So
bro,
I
right?
in.
Hey,
No,
and remember, bro,
sliders.
they had that tray of them downstairs at the second
Yup.
bar area.
Oh yeah.
I took like 4.
Everything they had here, the little sausages with the
Yup, those were
stuff.
good. Yup.
Oh,
the
yep.
fucking sliders, bro.
The salmon bite things.
The salmon bite things.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
bro,
With
Yes.
nuts. Cam can't have those. That
Yeah.
was a whole thing. on
that
their
was
dinner.
a whole
Their whole
thing.
thing for dinner on Saturday.
The dinner with nuts.
Uh-huh. Oh, but
did we
so-
go to any restaurant where somebody didn't take a L?
No, at least what he's saying, like at least one person.
At
where-
least one person. No,
Oh,
I'm not
no.
saying did
No, no.
we go to one where it didn't happen.
Oh no,
No.
there was an L every time.
Yep. But
Every
mine
time we
came.
went to-
Mine came
it
with a
was
dub.
something.
My L came with a dub though.
Your L came with a dub.
It did, but
it
also
could've
our
came
waitress
with-
was great.
Some would
Yeah,
argue
she
that
was.
it was
Two
a
dubs.
L that we were even there to begin with.
I mean,
Hard Rock Cafe.
I don't think- I don't-
yeah, I had
don't
never
do it.
tried Hard Rock Cafe before, and I had told Darren that I had never tried it, and
Yeah,
he
I
was
was like,
like,
"Oh, fuck
yeah,
it,
let's
yeah,
fucking let's go.
Cool little first experience. That shit is expensive.
No, it
as
wasn't.
Yeah, it was actually a
It
horrible
was
first
not
experience,
a first
but
experience. Our waitress was just great. That's it.
yeah, our waitress was
That's
fantastic.
literally it.
Y'all-
If she wasn't as good as what she was,
My
fuck
point
that
is,
place.
Yeah,
Either way, it still would have been expensive and mid.
yes,
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
y'all made me walk.
Walk.
a walk.
Oh man, I was so tired. I literally dragged my body to that place.
Hey man, you got some good food.
Yeah,
But back
I liked my
to said event, because aside from whiskey, the coolest thing about it, Neil Druckmann happened to have been there, and Troy Baker came out and sang for us as Joel and as him, and it was magical. And also, to the point of Neil Druckmann, and this is the first period of the weekend that
This
these
is my
niggas
first
learned-
dub.
Yes, but also this was the first inkling to the boys that I said I'm gonna do shit, and I do shit. Neil Druckmann's at the bottom of the stairs. I'm saying to the boys, I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm gonna go bust Justin out. Justin, you won't. Watch me. Proceeds to go downstairs. He's talking to some other people. Coming. Hey, Mr. Druckmann. Thank you for what you do.
Bro.
I think The Last of Us is great. And I have something to say to you in regards to my boy Justin up there.
I
He-
did hide. I will
He
say
did
this.
hide.
I
So-
hid. I hid like a little bitch.
I was trying to talk to Troy, but Troy was busy, and I was not interrupting Troy.
Yes.
That's
with
all
the
I
hair.
will say.
Yes.
I love you, Troy.
Troy was great too. Yes.
Yeah, he was
But
super
yeah,
cool.
so Neil Druckmann was bringing up how our bitch ass friend like loves The Last of Us up until the end,
Our
and he thinks,
bitch-ass friend.
yeah, I was, and just going over how he felt about the ending, and his reply to me was, "I wanted to kill Abby too," and I looked at him like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, I wanted to do that, but
I
certain
immediately
decisions
looked
got
up to
made in
Justin.
production,
He
and."
told us the name of the person that was responsible for that
I
decision.
forgot her name.
He
and said that we
did.
to talk to her directly.
Yes, he did. I'm going to look her name up later,
Oh
but he
my
gave us the
gosh,
name.
Yeah. As soon
And
as
I
he
was-
said
and I-
I
as soon as
called
he-
Justin down. I'm like, come on, brother, come on.
And all I said to him was, he is about to be insufferable for minimum 6 months because of what he just said. And as I'm telling him this, Justin's walking down the stairs. I won't have you slander me. And I was just like, nobody's slandering you. He's actually validating your opinion.
I
He
was
went,
like, you've been vindicated, bro. You've been vindicated.
and Justin was like, but overall, his main point is he didn't want people to universally be like, yeah, this was the right decision. He wanted the fighting. He wanted
Yeah.
the difference of opinions.
Yeah.
And same thing with The Last of Us 1. With what Joel's actions were. That caused a divide, and he's like, that's what we wanted. We wanted there to be a conversation about just morality and what people's decisions could be and all that. And we're just like, you got a good point, sir. Fuck you, Justin.
Hey, this will be my only reply to all of that.
The shit.
He
There was a
like,
funny moment with Troy afterward, though. like when we got the autographs.
Uh-huh.
And Neil was all like, "Yeah." Neil was the one who said it. It's like, yeah, he wanted to. He's upset that I killed you off. Talking to Troy.
Oh yeah, he
he's
fucking
all like-
tried to joke.
He's
like,
like,
"I'm
yeah, you
upset
know what?
too."
I am too. But he's all like, let me ask you something. Pitch me a better story right now. And he's like, exactly.
Exactly.
Hey man, look, I'm not here to make the stories. I'm here to play 'em.
I think when I walked up to him, I was like, "Hello, voice of all things." He's like, "Not all things, like just 70% of them."
70% of them, yes.
No, both of them were cool though. They were dope individuals. See, and this conversation that we're having right now, this recording, this was the beginning of our weekends. So excuse us if we sound like some arrogant assholes who've just met a lot of people this weekend, but that's how we feel like. And I'm trying to be humble, but we had a dope weekend that's still unbelievable.
I feel like I'm losing karma points as the longer this episode goes on, the more people I mention I met. So yeah, I met this person too, right?
Bro, I'm telling you.
Not a brag, but it's kind of a brag.
We had too many dubs this weekend, dog. There was too many dubs for karma not to come around and bite us in the ass in some shape or form.
That's
Don't
fine.
say
That's okay.
that.
Al.
Don't say it.
I'm happy with this weekend, sir.
Oh, I am.
thought that it
I
was
see.
cool that Troy not only performed his own music, not only did he perform songs from The Last of Us, but he performed songs that he wrote as Joel that weren't even in the game, because there were certain song ideas that came to him and he felt that that song idea didn't belong to him, it belonged to the character of Joel. And I told him when we spoke to him, I'm like, dude, like your ability to write from someone else's perspective and really put yourself into this other person's life, this fictional character's life, and make it that believable is just fucking mind-blowing, bro. Like, he had the whole audience like captivated. We were like swaying. I almost teared up.
Yeah, same. I almost cried.
Hashtag
It
humble
was
brag.
it was so much to the point where someone from Naughty Dog walked up to me and they're like, "I saw you out there grooving and stuff. You really enjoyed this, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I almost cried." And they're
Yes,
like,
we
"Oh,
did.
that's exactly what we want out of this." I'm like,
What's your tears?
We want your tears. Yeah, it was a really good event overall, though. Like, it was fantastic.
Neil
Yeah,
was
it
like,
was
the fact that
dope.
y'all are still talking about this game this many years later.
Oh,
is a win in
yeah.
my book. He's like, I won.
I
won.
Hey,
Right.
hey, Cam, I won too.
Ah.
Now, let me ask you this.
Pitch
Now,
a better ending, sir.
let me ask you this, Justin. Let me ask you this. Now that you have
Abby
been
dies.
validated, now that you have been validated by how you felt about how you and Neil felt about it, is it still a bad game?
Absolutely not.
we all win.
Everybody wins.
As
We
long as I hear that,
Absolutely
those
not.
words,
We
let's
win.
go.
You get a win. You get a win. Everybody gets a win.
Now the game is
We
the
just
game is
some
complete.
winners.
Now the game is
I think I even mentioned, I was like, I have no dog in this fight. I'm on the fence right now, and it kind of hurts.
it's good. And this is, mind you, just day 0.
Day 0.
Right, dog.
So
I think we actually went to bed on time.
Yeah.
It was definitely the earliest we went to.
Yeah.
bed.
that's before we found out about the bar.
Right? That infamous bar.
The Sheridan bar is the shit. If you're at PAX West, you better be in that goddamn bar.
Shout out to those bartenders as well. Their
Right.
work rate was
They were
impeccable.
working. They were fucking. They were clowning me.
Shout
and
out
Pam
to-
and shit.
Honestly, shout out to almost everybody who had to work somewhere near there, because I went to
facts.
I went to Mod, bro, and that place was insane.
Oh, that's
I've
where you
ne-
bought your pizza from?
Yeah.
Just because it was like a block away, and
That shit
bro,
smelled hella good, bro. I ain't gonna
That
hold you.
shit was packed.
Cam,
Mm.
did you go to the bar across the street, the gaming bar?
Oh, GameWorks.
No, I didn't.
Did
Bro,
you
we
at
were
least-
all supposed to go to that, and I'm so mad we didn't.
But
mean-
we were doing so
I know,
much
but dog, we literally would pass in front of it every single day.
on the way to do something.
I know.
It's just that it closed at 10. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
that
if
was
it
the
stayed
main
open
thing.
till like 2 or something,
Ooh,
We probably
would I
would've went.
move? Would I move over there? I don't know, because it just
Would
felt
I
like
move?
Yeah,
No.
Not move,
it-
but I take
it
a
felt
peek.
like San Francisco.
That's how I
Yeah,
take the big
nah.
slower side. That bitch is
No, I don't
fucking
know.
gray. That shit is sad.
Oh,
Even when
I'd
it's
move
hot,
over there.
It's still gray and sad.
I like gray and
Seattle,
sad.
as
So.
far as like where we were, it felt like it was just San Francisco, except everybody was out like
Yeah,
unabashedly.
and you know what? Those were different drug addicts out there. Those were different kind of dope fiends. I know crackheads. Those were not crackheads. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell they were on.
That was a lot. That was like, okay.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
I made me want to cross the street. I felt unsafe.
I felt unsafe.
He's not wrong.
He's
I'm
not.
from East Oakland. And
Also,
I
My
seen
biggest
some
fear-
shit. I was like, bro, why don't they tell you this about Seattle?
My
They'll
biggest
tell you
fear
this
is
shit
that-
about Oakland in a heartbeat. They
The
won't-
entire trip, I didn't even feel like was in another state, honestly.
no,
Nah,
it
I
felt
really
like San
just felt
Francisco.
like I went across the bridge. I just
Yeah.
spent a 2-hour flight to go there. Like,
Right.
My biggest fear was legit that I was just gonna accidentally get juked by a needle, and then that's it.
my biggest fear that I was gonna
No.
slip and fall on a wet manhole cover. Dead ass. I thought.
Oh god.
Because
Darren
especially
did
Darren-
that.
I
Yep,
almost
Darren-
slipped
Darren
at one
almost
point.
ate it. Oh,
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
it was
caught myself-
bad. Bro,
Hard to hear a
I
hump jump,
bro,
heart
I-
jump out of your chest, my friend.
Bro,
I
it
saw
would have
that-
been a
I
bad
saw that
fall.
nigga's future, bro. and
Bro,
I'm
my,
like,
Bro, that
my
would've-
father,
that
my
would've-
fatherly instincts went out and grabbed him like a small child. Like I grabbed
Oh
his arm.
my
Oh no, be
God.
careful, please, no.
I caught myself, but I was like, after it, I was like, if I had fallen, that shit would have hurt.
that would have.
It was one of those. Fucking
You know why you
the
almost
few
did.
days that it was actually raining there or just sprinkling, it was just that was the little bit of slush just fucked me up.
Yo, Seattle lied to
your
me.
bad
There's
shoot- your
way
bad
too many
shoe
people.
choices.
There's way too many people on
Fuck
that
you, Cameron.
sidewalk.
Fuck you,
If I
Cameron.
Slipped on that fucking manhole cover. About a solid 100 people would have saw me fall, and I just would have been that guy. And the fact that we're trying to do this social media shit, they would have found me and been all like, "That's the guy who fell." That's
Hey
it.
man, how's your ass? Oh.
Rusty Ruby's at PAX.
Oh,
Hashtag bust ass.
busting ass.
No, bad. All
Hey,
right.
I will say this just to mention it. The people that sell music in Seattle are very aggressive.
Oh my god, these
You know why they're aggressive? Because of people like y'all that give them money. Okay, you reinforce their
Bro,
actions. Okay?
this man tried to convince Darren to give him $100.
this nigga had tears.
bro.
This nigga was
Yeah,
like,
he did have
this
You got
nigga
the
was a
$100 thing?
Bro,
I accept donations, whatever you think, whatever.
Oh no,
Nigga,
that's what he said at
It
first.
started that way.
Yeah, that's where it started.
No. This is what pissed me off. It's because once he showed the tiers, nigga, the lowest tier was $25,
$25.
and then it like maxed out at like $1,050, and I was like,
And he said people usually give.
Right?
Darren's like I got $5.
No, let me
Yo,
I
tell
did.
you-
I was like, I got
let me tell
$5.
you
And
how
then
I
dude
know
said,
people don't
"Oh,
usually
you
give
paying
you shit."
$6."
Bro, that part because they charge $1.
Because they
Let me-
charge
let me
$1.
tell you-
I didn't even ask him if that was okay. That's the biggest thing.
That shit was
tell you
wild.
Why people don't usually pay that shit? Because you're here. You are standing right in front of me putting a physical CD in my hand in 2022. What? What?
Right?
am I gonna
Dudes are
put this
predatory,
into?
for real.
What the fuck am I gonna go
What's
put
your
this into?
SoundCloud, my guy?
Give
Let's
me
be
a
real.
link or something. Hand me a card and put the paywall over there or something. Give me a 30-second snippet of yourself. I don't even know what the fuck you sound like.
Oh,
I
there,
could suck.
I said no, and you know when I make up my mind, you ain't convincing me.
Right?
I
Beyonce, where your
knew I was
disband?
going to say no.
No,
from the
Darren
moment I
act-
saw
Where
him.
my
no, but don't
diss
forget,
man,
Darren
my
actually
walk
said no
man.
at first. Darren was
When
like,
they
"Nah,
shot
bro,
the
I'm
dish,
good," and the dude was
Get out,
like,
Skip.
"But dude was
No,
like,
we-
hey, but I have
At
tears."
least, if you're going to be out there with discs, have your
Well,
own
at
fucking
least.
CD player. Like, Cake had it figured out years ago with the
Oh,
short
shit.
skirt, long jacket video, right? Just fucking have people listen to your shit right there. They can judge. Nah, you trying to shove this hot garbage in my hand. You look about 40. You've been doing this since your teens. I know you have.
Y'all disrespectful. You bought the CD, and then proceeded to throw it in the trash.
I did not throw it in the
immediately.
trash. I did not.
Darren and Justin did. Darren and Justin threw that shit in the.
I left mine in the
next,
public.
The
For
next trash
someone
can that
who
we
gave
came
a damn to come across their
shit.
music for free.
Oh no,
Maybe some
Darren
fucking-
didn't. I did.
Maybe
I
some.
seen
Oh, I
Darren
did.
throw his away
I did too.
Oh, good
The
man.
first one
it
I
made me
kept. The
miss-
second
okay,
one.
So if you come out here,
First
people will
one,
be trying to sell
second
their
one.
music.
How many did you buy?
It won't be like that. You bought more than one?
Yes, he
I
did.
think I gave a nigga like $2 on.
Yeah.
Like, here you go, bro.
Man.
Awesome.
Bro, I told you them dudes is aggressive.
The only time that I've ever been got by one of them dudes is when the one fool sold me and Justin a holy book.
Oh, yo, that's right.
The Bhagavad Gita. He sold
That's
me and Justin
right.
on that. And because he
Nah,
was a
bro.
man of faith, I got tricked into it. But also, he was a Buddhist. And then we come to find out that book is not even representative of Buddhism.
It's
and so
not.
it's like, dog, you just fucking
He
cheated me out of
just fucking
$5.
sold you some shit he found in a hotel, bro.
I still have it though. I'm not gonna lie.
You bought a memory.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what you bought. You bought a memory and a story.
Honestly.
I could have bought a hot dog because there were hot people selling hot
Nah.
dogs right next to him.
There was.
Bro, the regret because you could have had a hot dog.
Yeah, it's like
I could
Bhagavad
eat.
Gita.
I could have some food.
Oh, dog.
Actual
We're
sustenance.
telling this story now, right?
Bacon wrapped hot dogs. Man.
All right.
Nah, bro, nothing beats being in San Francisco. That one time somebody tried to sell me a electric skateboard, but he didn't have the remote.
Oh,
Yeah,
the jug.
the jug.
Hot dog is greater than demo CD always. Absolutely.
Correct.
Always. Oh, bacon wrapped hot dog with the onions on it. Give it.
Mm.
All right.
No mustard.
All right.
No mayo.
And so, day one, things. Who had their first appointment?
Me
I
and
wanna
Cam
see-
did.
What did you guys play? What did you guys experience that day?
So
As
we
you look at your calendars to
Yep.
remember.
Yeah.
we started off at 9:30 in the morning
Yep.
at Apogee. Which shout out to Apogee, by
yeah.
the way.
Yeah. Shout out to Apogee. Treated us
Apogee,
like kings, bro.
Like kings, like literally rolled out the red carpet.
Shout out Kyle Prawl. Shout out.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Stride PR. You guys are the goats
Stride
also.
Yeah,
Holy shit,
everywhere.
you guys were everywhere.
I know that we
Everywhere.
have quite a few of y'all on Twitter now because I keep seeing added by a person. I go on
Yo.
and it's like Stride PR. I'm like, oh, there's another one.
Yes,
We're
sir.
trying to catch them all. But no, that was a great experience. I appreciated from them that they had a separate area for media, so you weren't in the hustle and bustle with everybody else. So we had
Yep.
a separate area, which was nice. But the two games that me and Justin tried out, there were Turbo Overkill and
Elements.
Elements. There we go. Elements. So I'll talk a little bit about Turbo Overkill, and then Justin can.
I'll
kinda
take
get into
Elements.
Elements.
Yep.
So Turbo Overkill is a game by this guy, and his name is escaping me. But he was somebody who actually got his start in gaming by working on a Doom mod, a horror mod for Doom, some years ago. And so kind of like his biggest influence when creating this game was games like Doom. And it's a first-person shooter with kind of like a cyberpunk aesthetic. So imagine Doom, but make it cyberpunk. But the kind of gimmick, if you will, for this particular game is that the character that you're playing as, who is like some kind of android, has a chainsaw for I don't know if his legs are chainsaws or if he has a chainsaw attached to his leg. Either way, it was cool as shit because you could just slide around, and as you engage the slide mechanic, you would also engage the chainsaw, and so you would slide and just chop people up as you were sliding. So yeah, it was really good. So published by Apogee, and the dev is Trigger Happy Interactive, but the particular guy that we met, I'm not recalling his name, but we have a whole on-camera interview with him, and we got to talk to him about a little bit more about the game. So that will drop soon, but super fun. I had a good time with that one. How about you, Justin? Did you like that one?
That one's
Yeah.
episodic too, right?
Oh yes, it's episodic as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
It's
exactly. So
three episodes.
3 episodes. So episode
Yeah.
1 is out now, Episode 2, I believe, comes out next month. And then the following episode, I want to say the beginning of next year, I think.
I think they
Lead
said
developer
February.
Sam Preble, the acclaimed
Sam
creator of
Preble,
Doom 2.
that's his name.
There we
Yeah,
go. Got you.
Sam Preble. Thank you, sir.
Got you.
So shout out, Sam. Thank you for the interview, sir. I appreciate it. That was our very first interview of the weekend as well. So, you know, we were dealing with some technical difficulties at first, and it took us a while to get set up, but everybody was super patient. They offered us water and everything. So yeah, Turbo Overkill. And like I said, episode 1 is out on Steam now. It's also, I believe, on PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, everywhere, PS5. Yeah. So the second game that we checked out was Elements, and I'll let Justin talk about that one a little
Yes,
bit
sir. So Elements was actually a pretty dope game. It reminded me a lot of like a mixture of World of Warcraft and Breath of the Wild. The mechanics were pretty interesting in terms of like the attack mechanic and in terms of like the battle mechanics. Sorry. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting was one, I thought it might have been heavily magic based because a lot of the magic that you do did like a ton of damage. But when I was speaking with the developer about it, he said no, there has to be a little bit of balancing done. But it's he wants to make it to where it's a decent addition of like both magic and like melee. And the cool thing is it also has a parry system. And what I thought was actually very interesting was I was talking to the developer a little bit about the parry system, and he actually leaned in and asked me what did I think about what he can do with it or how to improve it. And that was kind of my first taste of like being a media and being a creator, was
Getting
like
a chance to have some feedback.
yeah, like a developer actually asking me and potentially implementing my thoughts into the game. But yeah, the artistry is great. I think there's also a village building sim as well, Cam.
Yeah.
I think
I messed with that a little bit. Actually, I messed with that a little
a
bit
lot.
too much,
Yeah. Like, so I got further in the game than Cam did. Like, Cam kind of stayed in the village. I was able to actually go out and fight some enemies. But I thought you made it into like a few fights, right?
I did. I remember I made it into that huge ass spawn area where
Yeah.
like, spawned like a huge group of enemies, but I think I just took longer to get there than you because I got distracted by fucking trying to build something. And but yeah, the build system's pretty intuitive. I mean, I don't typically play games like that, but it was easy enough for me to pick up on that element of it. And I was able to build my little house before I kind of took
My
off.
little house.
But it's a cute game. Like aesthetically, it kind of reminds me of like you said, Breath of the Wild, yes, but also like a toned down version of like that game Kenna.
Kenna? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kenna.
Like a
Yeah.
toned down version of it, right? Not as graphically intense as something like that, but like a toned down version of Kenna. Lots of animals. In fact, I feel like everybody other than the character we played at was an animal, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There were the squirrels and but anyway, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I was able to fight one of the bosses, and like I said, the magic in the game was pretty powerful. So I pretty much used that and played a little bit more with the parry system. But overall, yeah, I said upon talking with the developer, I think the game is there's a wish list for it on Steam. It's out in 2023. And yeah, he said he's going to be working on a little bit more, but he said it's almost done. But I think he said he was about 40% done. We also have an interview with him that we're going to be posting up. So
Yes, sir.
Indeed. Yes. I'm glad that your guys' first appointment went better than mine, because my first two were just kind of, you guys got that treatment. I just kind of just showed up. Because remember the first game that I had tried out, well, before having any kind of appointments, when we first got in there, tried out One Piece Odyssey. That was like the first thing
oh,
I
that's right,
tried
you
out.
bastard. I
Yeah,
still wasn't able to try that.
Yeah, and so for the most part, like the way it looks when you look at a trailer is pretty much what it is for the most part. Like it's kind of a basic turn-based JRPG for the most part, but the character that they give to it as a One Piece game is kind of like, I really feel like that's definitely the sell for it. Like if you're a One Piece fan, you'll like this game, because as far as like the initial cutscenes and interactions between characters, it's just the Straw Hats being themselves in whatever situation, interacting with each other, and that's the joy of One Piece, is just seeing the crew be the crew. And as far as battle systems go, like I said, turn-based RPG, but you are able to sometimes start, the crew can sometimes start in different locations of the map. So you might have a cluster of enemies that's jumping one character, and then your other characters are a little bit farther back. And so when you attack, you kind of jump into the mix to switch things up. And when you're at least in that same kind of area, instead of like being in the back row, like maybe you would make like a mage user in like Final Fantasy, something like that, put him in the back row. Like when you're playing as a certain character, like you could be selected as Luffy, but you can also swap to either crewmate that's on the left or right of you. So if you want to use them instead of having it be Luffy's turn. And the skills are cool. Like hearing Luffy go Gamu Gomi no Gatalinga and just doing it, I'm just like, all right. Then everybody's animations are them. It's One Piece, and I think as kind of not interested as I was in the game initially, like just because I was like, I'm not too big of a fan of the models per se, but it gives me enough One Piece flair that makes me, as a One Piece fan, go, all right, I'm down.
Didn't you say? Oh, sorry.
I tried it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I tried it day 5.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
You're
so
also
I
a
did
bastard.
try it. And yeah, I agree with Darren. Like the One Piece elements are cool. It feels like the characters. Like I mean, there's one character that I didn't know. The bigger dude. What's his name?
Frankie.
Yeah, so I don't know Frankie yet. But
Super.
gameplay wise, I didn't like the gameplay. I felt like it was slow, both in combat and out of combat. Like even the
out of combat, it is like
yeah,
I
it felt
agree with
really
that.
slow and clunky out of combat. So I wasn't a huge fan, but the One Piece, it felt like it had character. So like
and that's the biggest thing I can give to it. It had character for sure.
But didn't you say the battle system was you compared it to Monster Hunter Stories, right?
In a sense, like with the like power speed technique thing, so a rock paper scissors type deal.
Right.
So like sometimes the enemies will be technique, so you would want to use a speed move to counter that. And it's just like, yeah, it's cool, but also like there's other games that do it. So that was just kind of my comparison of that. But
so
still turn-based RPG, so it's like it's cool. And if you're a One Piece fan, you'll like enjoy it for what it is. But yeah, it's definitely character more than anything, I'll say.
Oh, got you.
Agreed. I actually couldn't even make it through the demo.
Damn.
I played it up to a certain point, and I was like, I've seen enough, and I walked to go play something
See,
else.
I think the biggest thing for me is once you get to the boss, once you get to that giant monkey, you get Nami and Zoro in the party, and their moves are fucking cool.
Nami is trapped, right, by the monkey?
Yeah. And so like seeing Nami's baton moves, and then I literally only had one more hit on the boss, and I was like, I need to play a Zoro, and I did Rashomon, and I was just like, man, that was cool.
It was saucy.
That was dope. He was saucy with it. Like,
it was bussing.
Shut up. But no, I get what you mean though, Cam. Aside that, tried out Angry Foot, and it is Hotline Miami, but first person. The best way I could describe it.
I feel like it's Hotline Miami meets APAL.
Good. The way that you bust through doors and can just kill people. Yep, I get it.
I again, that was another must-play day 5 for me. Was Angerfoot.
Oh,
is
so
it Angryfoot or Angerfoot?
Angerfoot. Is it? I don't fucking know.
Anger. I got the foot behind me.
You got the foot behind you? Okay.
That's the thing that you left with me is the foot.
Oh.
Did have a
Darren, he got you.
You're welcome then.
But okay, so Angerfoot, right? My favorite thing about Angerfoot is after you die, the fucking enemies go over your dead body and just start like dancing.
Oh yeah, they
over
start
your body.
gigging though. They're like,
Oh, bro.
bitch.
And the way some of them dance, like they'd be like shaking their ass and shit. It's so funny to the point where like you almost feel happy about dying. Like, you don't feel sad about dying. How can you be frustrated when that's happening? It's fucking great. But yeah, you're mostly using your foot, and you can also pick up guns as you go, and it's very much a fast-paced game. To like
It's super fast.
it's like a techno soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't get to a certain point because there's like a time limit, but I saw on somebody else's screen that you can change the shoe that you're wearing, and that somehow affects gameplay.
The power-up shoes, yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah. So there was that, and then my first appointment.
Digital Devolver, by the way.
Digital Devolver. Shout out. We'll be better friends next time around. I swear. Then I went to go over to play 9 Years of Shadows, and
oh man,
that game looks pretty. That's my roaring review.
Wait, was that the one? Was that the one where Cam and I were with you?
Yeah, when we were taking turns. So 9 Years of Shadow, Metroidvania, pixel art, very beautiful picture art, mind you. Character uses a scythe, and it's like, I think the biggest issue that it had with the game is that the direction was kind of weird. Like,
yeah.
I get it, like push buttons to figure out what to do on video games. I'm all about it. You don't need to flash what to do all the time to me. I'm fine with that. But when we are all passing the controller to one another to try to figure out how to open a singular door, I think there's a problem here. Like,
Cam, both Cam and I wound up like kind of figuring it out, kind of.
But then I had no idea what I did. I'm like, yeah, I did something.
Oh, you had to like shoot the door or shoot the thing at the door. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with the game is that they just kind of, like the little projectile shooter that you get to, that was kind of awkward to control.
Yeah.
And then for you to realize where you're placing it to properly hit what you're trying to hit, if it's a door or a puzzle in that regard. But like aesthetically, it's beautiful. Like, it's a gorgeous looking game. I love the way it looks. I love the colors. I love the way it moves.
Remember when it went from black and white to color? That was
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, that was dope.
And it was just like, I died at a boss, and it's just like, is this okay? Oh, is this supposed to happen? All right, colors. And then we were stuck on that screen for a minute, and we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that part.
And yeah, it was kind of one of those, like, I had an appointment, and it was like, oh yeah, you could go ahead and try it over there. I'm like, all right, cool. And I was like, yep, and here we go. We good, boys?
Got you feeling like you don't really care about me? What's this appointment for anyway?
That's how I felt twice that day, honestly. That was the second time, like, kind of both of my main appointments that day were like, meh. Until Saturday, that's when I would, like, started moving around for the most part.
So I guess 9 Years of Shadows releases October 10th. The dev is Halberd Studios. It's running on the Unity engine, and then the publisher was Freedom Games. And it looks like it's going to release
that's right, it was
Nintendo
Freedom.
Switch and PC.
Bet. Let me see. What else? I think, Deontay, you had your appointment at Tripwire where you played Espire, right?
So yeah, I had an appointment at Tripwire where I was actually supposed to play a different game. But I got confused because I'm a little stupid. So it ended up working out though. I tried Espire 2, which is a VR game. I believe it's on the Oculus Quests, right? Quest 2. It's interesting. I'm not really super into VR myself, but with a little time spent with a game like this, I can see myself getting into VR. Honestly, I only have one complaint, literally just one complaint, and it is the turning of the camera. So when I have to turn myself to do something instead of panning like we're used to games doing, it just snaps into place, right? So I have to learn if I want to turn my character 90 degrees, I tap on the stick to the right and it just immediately snaps to a 90-degree turn opposed to panning over, which I'm used to with other games. But once I got used to that, it was fun. It was genuinely fun.
What kind of game was it exactly?
So it's a shooter.
Okay.
But I was playing like this robot. And like at first it doesn't give you any guns. At first it's just teaching you what to do, how to control different things. You have a built-in arm slingshot, and it's showing you the motion to use the slingshot on your arm, which shoots trank darts. You have another wand that comes out of your arm that you can use to heal your damage and also stun enemies. And there was a lot to it. It was very interesting. And from what there's also co-op plan for it as well. I kind of want to see how that works out. But yeah, I enjoyed it a little more than I thought I would, because like I said, I'm not sold on VR like that. But it was a good time. It was a good time. If I were to play VR in this current heat, though, I would probably break it with my sweat. Because this shit is unfriendly, bro. I don't know if you see that this was a mark and it is growing. I'm about to just change a shirt.
It is hot, bro.
I am literally sweating. Like, if you haven't seen me, I'm like wiping my sweat from my forehead.
Yeah,
it's
this
hot.
bandana is keeping.
We do this for you. We do this for you.
Yeah,
For the best sound quality, because I want to turn my fan on so bad.
Hey, bro, I'm sorry. I'm not dying on that hill.
Yeah.
Like, I am not dying on that hill.
Me neither.
It is too fucking hot. If my fan was off, I would literally be dead, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I understand it. But yeah, Espire was pretty fun. Espire was pretty fun, and that is set to release November of this year. The exact day, I'm not sure, but yes, November 2022.
Cool.
Dope. All right.
Justin.
Yes, next appointments for the day. I think the last ones of the day.
Yeah, with minor Justin's, I think. So, as you know,
I was there too. Yeah.
The last ones. So Justin first, before we jumped into that kind of last block, Justin played Mato Anomolies.
Yeah, how was that?
Right.
Shout out to the guy who was kind of facilitating.
He was a jokester, and I loved it.
Areas. I know I communicated with Vincent to book that appointment, but I don't know if that was Vincent that we were talking to. Do you remember his name?
I wasn't there. I don't have
No, I don't think I don't think his name was Vincent.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think his name was Vincent.
Mato Anomolies is a turn-based RPG. I'll let you talk more about it, because I jumped on barely at the end for a little bit, but you played it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like a lot of the demo was story based, so like I didn't really get to do much until the end. I mean, but the gameplay and the overall interaction of everything was very kind of. I think it has like that type of cell shading animation.
Didn't they say that somebody that worked on Persona 5 worked on this? I heard him say that somebody who worked on Persona 5 also worked on Mato Anomolies. Remember him saying that?
I don't, but I mean, I'll take your word for it. I mean, because it has a similar feel in terms of like the artistic style.
This is another game from Prime Matters and Plaion.
Yeah, Prime
Shout
Matters.
out to them. They were also like all those games there were great.
Yo, shout out to the dude from Plaion that we met in the elevator.
To another Alex, and I did not see him for the rest of the weekend, and I'm sad about that.
Oh, right.
Cool.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Shout out to everybody Plaion. All of them were dope.
Yeah, they treated us really well over at Plaion.
Agreed.
Oh, I love the Plaion guys. I mean, I even sat there and played a little bit of Saints Row again.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah, got a T-shirt for it.
So, like, essentially, the game is, like I said, it's a turn-based RPG. It revolves around these two characters. One is a cop, and I think one is an
He's a detective, yeah.
Yeah. And then they have like a unlikely team up where they are trying to save this area called Mato, because people have been. Is it getting possessed, or what was actually happening to the people?
So they were like, I think they were getting actually possessed by like demons.
Okay. Yeah, it was something that they were getting possessed by, because I remember that there was like a mechanic in the game where you essentially had to draw that essence out of them. Remember?
Oh, that second portion, because he said there was two
Yes.
parts to the game. There was like an action portion, and then there was a was it the
Card element.
the card
It's
based
like a card
portion?
game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Similar to
right.
like
That's right. That's
almost
right.
like a Slay the Spire type setup for that second portion.
Yeah. So basically, the cards. It was essentially like a card game. That had like some of the cards had different attacks that you can do. And they had like attack values on them. Some cards could stun. But basically, what you were trying to do is you were trying to knock down your opponent's. I think his mind bar is what he called it. It was like a mind bar, all the way to 0. So you essentially like knock him out, of whatever's possessing him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was interesting just because it did have those two combat mechanics where it
Yeah.
wasn't just that single turn-based mode that we had, but also the card game.
Mm.
So I thought that made it interesting.
Yeah,
The art style is beautiful.
yeah, it was gorgeous. Like it definitely did have a persona-like feel. But he actually told us at the very beginning that the game was very narration driven.
Yeah.
So like I want to say it's probably on the lines of but that's probably why we keep comparing it to Persona, because Persona was also very narrative driven. But it's just so stylish. But yeah, no, Mato Anomolies I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I wish I would have been able to actually get into the battle mechanics a little bit more. But the story overall was good.
There was definitely a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
Also, playing with a mouse and keyboard on that specifically tested my patience, bro.
I got a mouse and keyboard story later.
Yeah. I'm typically pretty good with mouse and keyboard.
I suck. Oh my, can I get a controller, please?
Yo, that was Cam's thing. Like pretty much every place we went, he was like, "A controller, yay!"
Right, that part. And so carry on with the Plaion booth. You guys also played Gungrave, right?
Oh, that was Gungrave. Was that day?
Yep.
Oh, that was the same.
Yo,
This is for you, Kobe. Shout out Kobe for setting up all these appointments.
Yo,
for us.
Gungrave was fire. Like, if you're really into the old school kind of the old school Gungrave that like came out in 2006, like you'll definitely be a fan of this one. It's super over the top. It's super gory, which is why it's called Gungrave GORE. Like it's so
See
it's
what you did there.
it's so good. Like there's special moves. What'd you say?
So it's incredibly over the top.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely over the top. Like your initial intro into the game is Grave flying through the air on his coffin and like and like landing in front of the enemies, hitting off an enemy's head with his coffin. And yeah, it's wild. Like it's over the top. I think my first boss of the game was like a gigantic mechanical spider thing.
Oh yeah.
And like it was such a good time. Like Gungrave was fantastic if you're down for the over the top
The
gaming.
movements looked flashy, and they looked heavy, right? Because his
Yeah, they're very heavy moves. Yeah.
did it feel heavy?
It felt
Like,
heavy.
Was it satisfying?
Yeah, it felt. So the thing is the game feels heavy. I will say that. Like
Yeah.
even when you
I
roll.
think that's we had talked to shout out Cameron Hawkins. We were talking to him about it, and that's what his complaint was too. He's like, it felt heavy.
Yeah, the game feels super super heavy. Like when
To
you
its detriment, though, or
yes, to its detriment. Yeah, like I'm not gonna say it's not at least fluid for the build they have now because of the fact that it feels so heavy. But like if that is what they're going for, then that's fine. But I don't feel like it is. But yeah, like when you rolled, it felt very heavy. Like the roll was very like slow and like you still had your iframes, of course, but it just didn't feel smooth. Like it felt like you rolled really slow. But I will say this: the mechanics they hit. You know, when you're, if you're firing your gun, because the whole thing is that you're trying to build up your combo meter, so it's kind of like Devil May Cry in that sense. But the higher your combo meter goes, the more,
right?
huh?
Are they called notes?
Notes, yeah.
You hit your notes right, just right.
Yeah, the higher they go, the more powerful attacks you can do. So once you get past 50, you can then rapidly press the triangle button, which will essentially take your two guns and force you to spin in like a circle, and like you're firing in a circle of people, like, and it's kind of like crowd control. And then the more higher your notes go, you'll get these nodes by your health bar.
Notes more higher.
And those allow you to do like your big attacks with your coffin. So yeah, it's a dope over the top game, and it's fantastic.
Also, the dev team are Korean. I don't know if you remember that. It's a Korean dev team.
Yeah, it's a Korean dev team. Yeah.
Joop. All right, and then next up at the Plaion booth was Goat Simulator 3. So, I cannot remember his name. Do you guys remember?
The guy that we talked to at Goat Simulator?
Mm-hmm.
I do not.
I do not. Apologies on this. But initially, I was asking, so why 3? Well, why Goat Simulator 3? What is this memery that you guys are presenting? And specifically,
my bad, y'all.
What on earth?
My bad, y'all. We got rated by Seth. Thank you, Seth.
Oh.
Oh Lord, thank you, Seth. Anyway,
we got subscribed by Seth. Thank you.
I asked why is Goat Simulator 3, and his response was because we found this stock photo of 3 goats, and that is the cover art, and we wanted that to be the cover art, and this is how we made it work. It was amazing. Justin Fixtery, thank you. But Goat Simulator 3 overall, it was wild.
Bananas.
Yeah.
I mean, no pun intended, but bananas.
No pun intended,
right.
but bananas.
Right.
But overall, it was fun. Like, from what I played, it's whacking, ridiculous, janky is exactly what you think Goat Simulator is. But they were including 4-player co-op now onto it for both online and couch co-op.
That's the best way.
Crazy.
Yes, there's now customizables. You level up and gain new skills. You'll get new skins, accessories you can put on. By the end of the demo, before I was turned into a banana, I was a pig wearing a Dovahkiin helmet with Crocs, shooting a bubblegum gun.
Drenched in oil.
Let me tell you, that pig was fucking nightmare fuel. The fact that the Crocs were the same color as the pig made it even worse. And it just flopped around in oil with its crooked ass legs and the weird fucking physics, and I wanted to look away so badly.
It was so fun. I enjoyed myself. And if I could have stupid goat fun with friends, hey man. I didn't play the first one. If they end up bringing it to other stuff aside from Steam, let's go. And I believe they are.
Just know that if you're that pig, I'm going to stay on the other side of the map.
It's on the App Store.
Oh, yep. It is coming to PlayStation 5, Steam, Apple App Store. It's coming to everything. Xbox One, PS4, Series X, Series S, Windows, PS5, all that.
When?
It is coming out November 17th. It is on the way, baby.
He's on the way.
Game of the Year candidate.
Stop it.
Right, it's in range.
Stop it.
Also, from that day forward, GG's will now stand for Goofy Goat Shit. GG.
Goofy goat shit. GG's. Stupid.
Boo.
Goofy goat shit with friends. Hell yeah.
With friends.
Boo.
From Coffee Stain Publishing. Thank you. That was fun. Yay. And then lastly at that booth, shout out Larry from Night Dive Games or Night Dive Studios for showing us System Shock. And Cameron was the one who played that. Cameron?
Yeah, so System Shock is a remake of an older game by the same title that came out early 90s. It's known, the game BioShock is kind of a spiritual successor to System Shock. So if you've played BioShock, you know the kind of vibes. But it's set in kind of this dystopian world where everybody is being watched by the man, if you will, and you are a hacker. And the demo starts with you being busted, hacking by some drones, a strange character coming to you via audio only, saying, "I'll help you, essentially, if you help me to bust this corrupted computer program," essentially. Sounds very familiar, right? BioShock starts in a similar way, where an unknown voice tells you that they need your help.
Wait,
Show
didn't the main character flip them off at one point?
Yes.
He did.
He did.
And then proceeded to get his ass beat.
Yeah, that part.
But the one thing that Larry wanted us to know about this game is that there will be no hand-holding.
Oh,
they
that's,
wanted
yeah.
it to very much play like the old game. And he's like, some people are going to like that, and some people are not going to like that. But it was very important for us to make sure that the game played like it did. And historically, it was a very hard game. It wasn't an easy game at all.
That was very apparent as soon as Cameron came to that fucking puzzle where he had to let the
It showed that Cam did not play
electricity through.
BioShock at least.
And he did not play BioShock.
That
at
showed
least,
that he
yeah.
did not play BioShock because I was like, oh, BioShock, I recognize that.
I
And Cam's
recognize
like,
this.
What
I can
am
do
I
that. I was
doing?
looking. I didn't want to break the flow of the conversation that was happening between him and Larry, but I just wanted to grab the controller so bad, bro.
It wasn't even that for me. I feel like there were a few times where I just didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, kind of thing. But
Figure that shit out. Run around
yeah,
until you get it.
figure
Yeah,
out.
it was very much a look around at your surroundings, look at what switches need to be pushed, specific items. You don't have to have random fucking trays and bottles in your inventory because it's just taking up space, but you can grab it because it's there.
Can I
Oh.
say,
Right.
Larry Cooperman is probably one of the funnier people we met. that
Yes.
day, bro.
Larry was amazing.
He's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
Enjoyed him.
It's like, don't call me sir, call me Larry.
Right?
The inventory management reminded me of something like how they have inventory management in Resident Evil, where like
Yeah.
certain things take up bigger slots and
Oh,
things take
yeah.
up smaller slots and that kind of thing. So yeah, you could pick up a whole bunch of useless shit and find yourself unable to pick up things that you actually need. But yeah, it's cool. I know that this one has a lot of hype behind it because of what it represents. System Shock is the game that has the famous line, what is it again?
All your base belong to
All
us.
your base belong to us. Yes,
All
exactly.
your base are belong to us.
Yes,
No.
and then so the voice of Showdown, the man, as Cam said, it also has their original voice actor reprising their role for Showdown as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I need that. I didn't know that. That is magnificent right there.
Yes.
That's
Did we
top
get a
five.
release date for this one? I don't think so.
No, currently it's still just coming soon.
Okay.
But so yeah, Night Dive Studios, published by Prime Matter. Shout out Prime Matter. Shout out Plaion.
Yo,
You were
yeah,
also
Prime Matter
awesome.
been hidden, man.
You guys are awesome for real.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
feel very welcome.
In-depth explanations, catered to our nonsense. I know Larry was looking at us like, you guys suck. But it's all good because it was fun. It was a fun time. And I think that wraps up Friday at least.
Yeah.
Friday.
So,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
did we
think.
do anything Friday night?
That's where we went to the Coalate party presented by Asus, and Cam won a mouse.
Oh yeah.
Oh
what
yeah,
about?
that's right. He won a mouse, you bastard.
Yes, we should have gone back to the Asus booth the next day, but
Yeah.
and it's for the most part.
Things and
But
things.
we also had a shit ton of appointments and other stuff that day too.
Yes. And then me and Cam had gone to the Sheridan bar that night, and Cam got to meet a bunch of friendos, and it was delightful. Shout out to the 6 Degrees of No More panel,
Oh,
as
that was
well
Oh,
as
that
video
shit was
game
fire.
trivia.
Cameron,
Guys
you
are great.
monster.
Cameron Hawkins, you fucking monster.
You fucking monster, bro.
Shout out to Scott for hosting his panel of 6 Degrees of Nomura. Shout out to Jacob McCord for video game trivia. Both of those were great. You guys were awesome.
Yo, had
Shout
fun.
You guys are insane, by the way.
Shout out to Finn for being an amazing person and also being the best dressed person at the con.
Yo,
Multiple
Drippy.
days in a
man,
row.
Drippy.
drippy.
Oh gosh.
Drippy. Yes. Shout out Finn. Shout out Friendos.
Also-
Friendos out there. We
also
need
Finn.
Friendos.
You are the only person that is allowed to call me by that name from now on. You were the only one. Shout out to Finn. You're understand. No one else gets that privilege. You are the only person that gets to call me that.
I'm gonna clip that specifically for him and let him know. I'm gonna send that to
Good.
him.
He's the only one. Love you, Finn.
Yes. But yes, Cam got to see Darren knows people that night.
Lots of
Shout out.
people.
Haley, Katie, Scott, Finn, Davion, all
Hey.
you.
Darren's the PR guy. We know this. He
Can I
talks to
just say
everybody.
how many times this weekend I had the most awkward handshakes where, like, I went for a handshake, they were going for a fist bump, or I was going for a fist bump, they were going for a handshake. There were also elbows involved because sometimes people were holding things or COVID and didn't want to do handshake. It was so awkward, and we've been inside for too long, people, and we need to remember how to fucking interact.
Hey, no, Darren hit me with a turkey first day. Day
First
one,
day.
he hit me with a turkey.
That's you. I don't give a damn.
Nah, man. I was like this. He was like, hey. I was like, stop it. Stop it right now. We're better than this.
Nah, we're just exactly there.
We're better than this.
Yes. All right. Now for the meat and potatoes, and we're gonna have to probably do our best to condense these ones because Saturday was ooh-wee.
Saturday was busy.
Yeah.
My
Saturday
boy.
was busy.
Just
So
for reference, we did not eat collectively, or at least
Oh,
Justin,
yeah.
Darren, and I didn't eat until 5 or 5:30 p.m. was our first meal
Yeah.
of the day.
That's how
how
busy
long
we
before
were.
Darren was scruffing beards? Oh, I could have scruffed beards by that point.
Well, we were
Oh,
too
there
busy.
there were many a beard to be scruffed, and damn
Oh
it,
my
I'll do
God.
it next time. But I also just met these friendos, and even though I clearly was at that point where I could have scruffed beards, I
He
refrained
he
myself.
was. This man was going up to people that he had just met and being like arm around body. Hey, friendo! Like immediately.
Oh my God.
This is Darren
That
we are
shit
talking
was
about.
wild.
It was great. So Saturday for the most part started with I think Cam had something like right at fucking 9:30
Yep.
or something.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
And the most ridiculous thing to have right at 9 a.m. and that game was bare butt boxing.
That's
Oh,
right.
no. I think yours. Yeah, we had come over to join
Yeah.
afterwards because me and Justin went over to Audio Technica. Shout out Gary
That's-
Boss.
Yo,
the
shout
guy,
out to the
Mr.
boss. Shout out to the boss, yo. For real, for real. He was
So-
amazing. He was dope.
Just a quick recap for Audio Technica, because for the most part, since I think Cam, what mic do you use? Because I don't know if it's Audio Technica or not.
No, I use a Scarlet mic.
Okay.
He uses a Scarlett. The rest of us use Audio Technicas. I'm not currently using an Audio Technica. I'm using a Shure right now, but I still have my two, and they're still in rotation. So when I'm
Yeah.
streaming, I use my AT.
Yes, but
I believe my travel mic is an Audio Technica.
see,
my baby.
okay, see, we all rock.
But I gotta stay with these Audio Technica headphones. They've been serving me well since the start.
Yeah, so they had some new products to show off for the most part, but also the biggest takeaway from Audio Technica is that they are having gonna do a creator community.
Mhm.
So this is something I'll try posting the QR code for you guys to scan if you are interested, to try to work with Audio Technica, whether it be different events as far as getting others to sign up for the creator community, getting a chance to use some of their products. There's a chance we might get something to raffle off later. Who knows?
Or
But
if we decide to do some reviews as well.
yes.
I'm
So
definitely down with doing some reviews, man. I fucking love sound.
right, I already knew that this. All of us try to use this good quality stuff. So hey, let us know. We're here for you, baby. Thank you
I
for the
wanted to be
opportunity.
there. I wanted to be there at the AT thing, but that night before, I guess I ate something weird that took me out of the game. I hate getting sick on trips, dude. It feels like you're wasting so much, doesn't it?
Man, just the 2 hours that I was out on Sunday felt like a long time. So
Right.
Oh, that's
I get
right.
it, man. But it is what it is. But Audio Technica, shout out to them. Thanks, Gary Boss, for your time. We appreciate you, sir. And then on to bare butt boxing.
Wiggle. So barebutt boxing is a physics-based party game
Stop it there.
where your goal is to hit your opponents into one of 4 goals to score on them. It is incredibly doofy.
Incredibly doofy.
And you move around like a wet sausage, but it's fucking amazing.
Oh my
It's so fun.
God.
Also,
the way
Darren is
they
way too good at
walk.
that game.
The way they
Yeah,
walk.
right?
I haven't played it yet. I can't wait to fucking put y'all in the dirt.
So you have your like regular attack. You also have a strong attack that you can charge up. But if you charge that attack and then you miss, there's like a period where you're like vulnerable to attack and you can't do anything, right? So you're just like kind of like wobbling around, and if someone hits you, that's pretty much your ass. But they also had another thing where if
you continuously hit, then you kind of charge up, and the more
Yep.
the more you hit, the harder your punches are. So you could just be punching like me, fighting camera for a little bit, just smack, and then just knock his ass into a goal on the other side of the map.
Yep. You can also get knocked off of the map, and I didn't see if that affects your score or not if you get knocked off and not into a goal. But there was also another mechanic that I saw where if you're behind, they had introduced something that it makes it easier for you to get back into first place, and I can't remember what that mechanic was now. Maybe it's the one that you're talking about, but I think it might have been something
I know they
else.
also dropped items and stuff like that too that you
Yeah.
can end up throwing, and those do damage too. Those really knock you back.
The one I remember was like a plant pot or something. Or
Yeah,
like a
that was the main
flower
one.
pot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's brought to you by Tautara Games. It's going to be, so when we were playing it, it was just 4-player free for all, but it's going to be up to 6 players fighting in the same arena. Coming to Switch, PS4, PC, and PS5. That game was fun. Like I remember initially looking at the trailer for it, and I was like, "This looks doofy as fuck." And when you said that you're gonna go over there and play it, I was like, "All right, cool." And then all of us playing together was like, "Okay, this is just stupid."
Probably
fun
fun
time.
for you.
They also said that
Because I was winning, yo.
Yeah, you asshole.
in the mode that we were playing at is essentially like the what the couch co-op would look like, but if you're playing it like online, it's more zoomed in, so it zooms into your actual character. He even said that the character will do like some victory dances or something after he knocks someone in the goal.
Yeah. So the perspective that we had initially, so because there was 4 of us on the screen, the camera was zoomed out to see the entire arena, and so I will say, even with only 4 characters, you can get confused on which one you are. So the fact that when it is when you're playing by yourself, it's zoomed in, so you at least know where you are. But I'm curious to see what that actually looks like, because the camera's so zoomed out, you actually knew where everybody was at all times. So now is it going to be kind of a chase of seeing if you can find people as much? But I'm sure it will work out nicely, because the game was fun and I enjoyed it.
Also, wasn't there 6 characters.
Yeah, it's going to be 6.
It's gonna be 6,
character
right?
brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, let me correct myself. Deso, you are right. The line "all your base are belong to us" is not from System Shock, and it is in fact from Zero Wing. That was a Mandela effect.
That was not a Mandela effect. You were just wrong.
Not just
I think
me,
it was.
Darren.
I thought so too.
Shit.
Fuck you, Deontay. We can both be wrong together.
Right? Wrong. And you was some shit. And thank you. You got me blushing on cam. I'm just.
Let's see.
My voice is damaged right now. Honestly.
Oh. Oh.
Nobody here said nothing different.
Nobody said nothing right.
Hey, man,
nobody said
that
it
don't
was
mean
wrong apart from Deso.
Hey, that don't mean I
Thank you,
agree with
Deso.
you.
Shut up.
You just led the party in being wrong.
Thank you for fact checking.
Fat checking.
You held the flag. You lied to us.
You lied to me, Darren.
Oh no. It's making its triumphant return.
Anyway,
You lied to me.
I
trusted you.
I think after that,
Reggie.
yes,
That's right. We did go see Reggie.
No, sorry.
Reggie and Rogue One's panel.
That's
Excellent.
right.
A lot
Shout
of
out to Rogue.
information, A lot of insights from
Reggie
industry
feel
vets.
me?
Like, I think so. For us personally, Rogue Games is probably our booth developer, publisher of the show.
Of the PAX, yeah.
Like, personally, because from this panel forward through the rest of the day, they were the utter shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me get all of these amazing people's names and get their names correct. So yes, Reggie Fils-Aimé was there on the panel, talking games, talking stories, giving insight, saying it's not my fault about Mother 3, leave me alone.
Did say that.
His opening line was, "I don't have Mother 3 with me, but it's okay because I'm working on Mother 4."
Right, opening line.
Opening line. First words that came out of his mouth. Also, his intro was epic as fuck. That fool came from the back of the crowd like a wrestling character. Or
Where did he
dog.
come
Bro.
from? Where?
I have no idea.
From
Where did
somewhere-
he come
Somewhere
from?
in the back there. I have no
Reggie
idea.
Fils-Aimé, dog.
There was
He
no
knows what he
door
wants
back
to.
there.
They were
I
playing
checked.
high-pass music. He like gave some people high fives on the way down. I'm like, dog is a fucking icon.
knows.
He's a
He
G,
knows
bro.
the fucking life he lives, bro. It's
His life is a movie, dog.
Right?
Right, actually.
I'm trying
Reggie's
to get
life
like
is
you,
a goddamn
my
movie,
boy.
for real. But yeah, shout out CEO Rogue Matt. Shout out Chris Archer, Chief Strategy Officer Derek. Shout out to you, COO.
Yo, shout out to you, my boy.
Shout out to you.
You were
Bro.
fantastic.
Levi Buchanan, the one who was running the panel, Vice President of Business Development. You're the GOAT, bro. So many people from this
Did you
booth.
shout out Carlos yet?
Carlos, developer of Sprawl, my guy, Drippy, out here in this leather jacket on that panel, being just a cool fucking guy.
Him and Cam, what is it?
Show again on day 5. I'm like,
Oh,
yo,
you
dude,
did?
so meeting, like,
Nice.
at the hotel, dog.
Wait,
See?
what?
And this is how you make friends.
Wait, Cam, what did Carlos call you when he first met you? He said something about your septum piercing.
Oh, my septum brother or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
My stepson brother. That's funny. And Jack, content stretch. Jack, my guy, he was great. But yeah, no, just Rogue Games as a whole, fucking awesome. Their panel, great. Pretty much immediately, we also went to a cheap ass gamer panel. Thank you for the wins, not to Cameron.
Right.
My
dub, our dub, Darren.
It's
right.
okay.
Petty.
Yeah.
I think my luck had run out with the mouse.
Yes.
I know exactly, and that was so fine. But now back to business. So, Rogue
Really quick.
Games.
Oh, okay. You are going to talk about the panel still,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
right? Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh no, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead if you like to talk about that.
No, I was just going to say I liked how the panel was set up because we had Carlos, who was representing his game called Sprawl, which is a first-person shooter that's set to a drum and bass industrial type soundtrack. Amazing. So you had him, but then you also had Big Dog Reggie, obviously, and then you had, I can't remember the guy's name that made the frog game.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna look him up.
Okay. So the frog game, and I can't remember the name of the frog game, but we'll get to it soon. Seafrog. So he won a competition. Essentially, Rogue put on their own like competition to try and find the newest, latest, freshest devs to push their game that Rogue would end up pouring some funding into and helping them market their game if they decided that their game won. And so they had a bunch of people enter, and there were different rounds of this competition, and our guy blank for right now until Darren finds called Seafrog that ended up winning that competition.
Yes.
And
Developed by
traversal done on a
Oh My
skateboard.
Me Games.
Oh My Me, I love it. He's also British, I'm pretty sure. He had an accent, so I'm pretty sure he's British. But traversal I never played it, but one of you guys played it.
Darren played it.
I played it, and Seafrog was dope. Overall, I'm trying to get names still. But overall, every game I played there was great. I had a great time with everything. The learning curve for Seafrog, which pretty much what it is, you're a frog and you're on a skateboard, and the goal is to pretty much traverse ramps to get to the top of the stage, just get to your goal. There are puzzles where you might have to use your tongue to grab onto something and like just spin around, and you might be closing up water mains, stuff like that. And when you jump, like you hold X, or you hold X to skate, and then when you let go at a ramp, you like do a trick. And the better the trick is that you do, the faster once you hit the ground you'll be able to boost to continue on to go to the next area. I was having so I was playing like on the main stage, and Matt was commentating over my stuff, and I was like, I'm doing terrible, but I'm having fun while doing terrible, so whatever. But overall, Seafrog, fun game. I definitely wish I had more time with it, because I feel like once you get into the groove of what you're supposed to do while playing, like you will just be burning through levels like super quickly. I could easily see it being a game that you can speed run, like once you get the skills for it.
Also, how dope is it for this guy, this being his, I'm guessing maybe his first game, or at least his first game to get a major backing from a company like Rogue, to be on there talking about his game in front of motherfucking Reggie.
Bro, he sat next to Reggie.
That's right. He was right next to him.
He was right next to Reggie.
Commented on his game.
Yeah.
Imagine what that must be like for him, dude. That crazy.
Bro, his game looks sick though. Like I will say that. Like when I was watching Darren play it, and his game looked sick. I felt like they ran you through most of the road games when you had sat down there.
I did. I think I played every single one when I was there. If anything, I might have missed maybe one.
Yeah, they like ran him through it.
So, did you play Last Case of Benidict or Cookie Cutter?
Both, yeah.
Okay, so first game up, Last Case of Benidict. Oh, that I see myself falling in love with the game super quickly, bro.
Aesthetically, I really liked it. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was tired, but I found it hard to get super engaged in the gameplay, and I think it was just because of the Metroidvania aspect of it. I didn't know where I was going. Yeah, I didn't know where the fuck I was going. I'm not gonna lie.
I think at one point I did get turned around a little bit, and like it's very much Metroidvania aspects to it, where you can the level design once you go to like the other realm, because it's in a sense like the medium. And I even asked about it if they had any inspiration from the medium. It's just like, yeah, actually they're one of our neighbors. Bloober Team's one of our neighbors, and we did kind of take inspiration of that different dimensional type deal. Because Benidict has I guess a demon or something like that attached to him, and so like he has powers as well, but I didn't get too much into that aspect of the gameplay. But there was a lot that had to do with like light got to certain areas where there were just black tendrils around you, and you had to use your flashlight to just keep pushing through them, and also shine a light onto specific points so that you're not consumed by darkness.
You had a shield or something, right? At some point, I conjured some kind of magic shield.
Yeah, and there's a parry in the game too, where you can pull up a shield if an enemy is attacking you.
A
And,
parry?
Yeah, pretty much spot it. Yeah.
So you said that they said that Bloober team are their neighbors.
Yeah.
So are they Polish then? Because I know that Bloober team is Polish.
Let me see. Or am
And
I mixing?
If so,
Am I mixing
then-
that with our Polish friends? Because we talked to a lot of them.
You might be.
Last case of Benidict Fox. Let me see. Yeah. This game is fantastic. Action, adventure, platformer. Definitely recommend. And I believe this one's coming out pretty soon as well.
This one won the
2020.
award at what you call it, right? Most anticipated game.
Yeah.
At Gamescom, I think.
Yeah, by Plot Twist, being published by Rouge Games.
Cool. Yeah, that was a
Lovecraftian
good one.
Metroidvania.
Good one. The voice acting also amazing, by the way. I just want to say.
Oh,
The
definitely.
Voice acting was on point, super on point.
And then, did you played Cookie Cutter,
Oh,
right?
of course, bro. I had to wait for that one longer than any of the other games. Cookie Cutter is fantastic. Another Metroidvania, but this one is from an Italian dev team, or at least the main dev is Italian. The guy doing the animation and stuff. He has a small team that he's working with, and it's about a cybernetic girl. I actually don't know what her motivations in the game, but you play as her. Her name is.
Here's a quick synopsis of the game. Cookie Cutter is a techno-pop-punk 2D hand-drawn Metroidvania set to the backdrop of a bleak and beautiful dying world. Become Cherry, a rage-driven
Cherry.
android on a quest to rescue her beloved creator, Dr. Shinji Fallon, from the clutches of a deranged mastermind. Yes.
Mega
He's
Man?
The animation, I feel like, is the thing that got us from jump. We walked past and saw that hand-drawn animation and was like, yo, what is this?
The animation is sick. Once you actually get hands on it and start the combat, bro,
She has like her main attack, which is like punches and kicks and stuff, but then you can switch to 2 additional weapons. Right now, you can unlock more from my understanding, but the 2 are a chainsaw and a guitar. Each has their light and heavy attacks, and then also their special attack. But what the guy told me is that one of the other weapons that's coming is a motorcycle, and the special attack for the motorcycle is that she'll jump on the motorcycle and then just run through enemies on the motorcycle. I'm like, I'm about it.
right?
About it.
With the guitar, you just do that strum of the guitar, and it like uses lightning, and you just take out all the enemies in your path. If you're using a jump attack with the chainsaw, you could just turn into just a chainsaw.
Chainsaw go burr.
And just chainsaw go burr.
Chainsaw
Yeah.
go burr.
Combat-wise of the game was wild. The animation's great. I could already tell the humor is already going to be there as well. It is. I think that's like one of my games of the show for real.
Yeah, same.
Welcome
Definitely a
back,
highlight
Travis.
of the show.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
welcome back, Travis.
No,
Never.
we will
No.
not. Kotowaru. Go back in the VOD later, baby. And then lastly, just to go a little bit more into Sprawl, game was dope. Just overall, I was terrible at it.
Oh my god, the game was dope.
I was so
I-
bad.
I didn't even get to play it. I was watching Darren play. I was sitting behind him. But I was like, it was another one of those situations where I like kind of want to grab the controller, but for a different reason. But
Oh
yeah.
no, and I would have been A-okay and be like, please.
Dude, I was like, dude, I couldn't do that anyway. I was recording.
Yeah, and it's not like I was saying, here, take the controller out of me not liking it at any point.
Nah,
it
it
was more
was-
of like,
it was-
I'm just poorly showing what this game is capable
And the
of.
setup for it was kind of weird. not weird. It was a great setup, but it was a bad setup for you to suck at the game publicly, right? Because you were on this
You mean because
couch.
he was front and center?
You had this huge screen in front of you, and you had this. You're
Oh,
behind
you
like
were
red
playing
ropes
on
and
that
shit.
screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh,
He had the
entire-
dev right next to him.
entire
Like,
time.
Turned on the
Carlos
fucking
was next
sound
to
bar
me.
so we can hear what's happening because music is very important to this game.
Yeah.
And it was this whole thing. It was a great, spectacular showing though. And if you don't know what's going on or personally know Darren's capacity for shooters or lack thereof,
Listen,
it
bitch.
wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad of a display. Honestly, it felt like you were doing worse than it looked like. Honestly,
I
got
felt
footage.
like I was doing worse.
I got footage. It's
you
all
were
good.
you were doing pretty bad, dog.
I know I was. I know, and that's not even an insult. I
It's
personally
not, like,
know. I was
we-
telling
so
Carlos,
Darren and I suck at
wish I was
shooters. We
showing
understand.
respect to your
If
game.
you would have seen me
that's the thing.
playing,
I
if you-
don't suck at shooters. I just don't
Easy.
want to play them anymore.
if you would have seen me
If I
playing
get into a
Espire
shooter,
2, bro,
I'm a demon.
I looked stupid. I looked like I didn't know what up and down was like. It was some pretty intense shit. But yeah,
Also, there's a slowdown mechanic in the game, which was cool. And also, the wall running in that game to me worked better than the wall running in Turbo Overkill, Justin. Because remember, I was
Bro.
for whatever reason, in
Darren
Turbo Overkill-
was having the hardest time
I
with the wall run
was.
physics.
You know what it
bro.
was?
Really?
Yeah.
I found
Yeah.
that one easier than the wall running in Turbo Overkill. That one I had a hard time with.
Oh yeah, Turbo Overkill. I just was like,
Yeah, no, like Cameron was saying, the way that the music was utilized, all done by Carlos, by the way.
mm-hmm.
He
It was
did all
also
that
a
shit.
very successful artist and DJ.
Good. You need to
and
get out with the man. You
swagged
need to
out
do
like a
that.
motherfucker, right?
Yeah, he was trippy.
Swaggy as shit.
Tis the plan.
I saw the jacket. I was like, oh, I know you somebody.
But yes. So yes, that Rogue Games, y'all were dope. Thoroughly enjoyed our entire time with you guys.
Especially that
Thank
night.
you. Oh my god, that's a
Especially
story.
the
That will not be in an episode.
Yeah, no, that's
But
way too long.
that is where we met Trobs.
That is where we met
Yep.
Trobs.
Oh, yeah,
So this
that
is
is where we
true.
met
We met a
Trobs.
lot of people
Man,
at
the
the party.
legend.
This is true. This is where we got to mingle with these people, and they were amazing, and we are very humbled to just be in their presence and having drinks and having a
Yep.
good time. Thanks,
Having a good
Trobs,
time.
for being our fucking guy.
Another
Yeah.
shout
Thank you,
out to
Trobs.
Trobs just for having great fucking hair.
Right?
Bro,
You got
I
amazing
will say
hair.
your hair is pretty majestic, dog. Not
It
gonna hold
fucking
you.
flows.
Shout
Not
out
gonna
to the
hold you.
black woman who put him up on game on hair products. That he started to do as well. He's like, that's why my hair looks like this, because she told me that I need to do something, and she gave me a list of hair products, and my hair's never looked the same. So
She is the
shout
goat. There you go.
shout out to her
Yes, Trobs, and your amazing wife favor. Hello,
Yep.
hello to you as
Hello.
well. We
Hello
appreciate
to
you.
the team.
too. Also, let me say, Trobs, I stalked your Twitch a bit just to see your content, and what I realized is that you and your wife did opposite things. So she went from longer hair to shorter hair, and then you went from shorter hair to longer hair. And I found that interesting. I'm like, you guys
This
both
man.
look different. You guys, yeah.
There can only be one.
Oh no.
I thought
Oh
that was
no.
cool.
But
That
yes, shout out to y'all. And then let's see, what other appointments did you guys have for that day? No, that was my big one. Because I think later on I had Tiny Build, but your experience at Tiny Build was far different than my experience at Tiny Build.
Don't forget Lies of P as well. We played that.
Yeah,
I
but
believe they won.
no.
No,
Lies
no,
of Play, we
no.
played.
Because
J4.
remember, shout out Hip Hop Gamer, we'll have you on soon, bro. This nigga was over at the AMD booth hyping that bitch up all weekend. First of all, hype. And he was early on. We heard him. Come on down to AMD. We're the only ones who got Life of P here. Come on, check it out,
We
y'all.
got the lies. We the only
Bro.
people here who got lies of P.
He's like,
I
he's
heard
like, You
it.
saw the trailer. You saw the trailer.
I heard it. Darren heard it.
I walked by. I
I
said,
was
this
like,
nigga's
cool.
lying. And I
Darren-
kept it pushing.
Darren did not believe him, and I was all like, "Oh no!" But he said he had the thing right there.
Said this nigga lying, and then the next day we go back an opposite direction because we had been by that specific spot several times, but never looked at this particular wall to see Lies of P and go, oh,
Yeah, they had it on the right side of the wall, and we walked
On the other side.
across the front. The front and the
It
left.
needs work. Let me just say that.
It does need a little bit of work, yeah.
does it ooze Bloodborne? Yes,
Absolutely.
it does.
Yes.
Is
Like,
it
From what I'm
slow
hearing,
as
so
fuck?
much to the point where it's like, okay, that's very Bloodborne.
I'm not mad about that.
No.
I'm
I
not mad
am.
about
I-
that
I-
aspect. No,
I feel like it looks very much like it's like
it's
you took
Bjornum.
Bloodborne-
Yeah, you're right.
It's literally Yharnam.
Hey,
Like literally, like I feel like I've walked the exact same route that we were taking. in the
bro,
demo.
as someone who just recently played the game, yeah.
like
Yeah.
disgustingly so.
No, yeah.
Which is weird because then it's also very slow and clunky, which Bloodborne is not in
Nah,
any
no.
respect.
No, Liza Plea was Liza Plea.
Liza
Liza
Plea.
Plea was it was heavy. Like
Yeah, it
Liza
also
I don't
Plea
felt-
know
is that girl
in-
who rejected me back in the 5th grade.
Like, why
Justin
the hell
played
do you
Bloodborne.
think
Justin
so
is
slow?
almost done with Bloodborne. We are in the
Right.
DLC right
Oh.
now. I know. See, a story for another time. Though.
That's
next
next episode.
But yeah, Liza P. It like aesthetically, I like it personally, but it's heavy. Like it's
Yeah.
very slow, and the counter system is
Is
interesting.
buns? Right
I
now?
I don't know. They need to refine some mechanics for it to be what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
Because right now it's feeling exactly what every Soulsborne copy or like
Mhm.
game is something that wants to get there, but there's something about it that's like you're not getting the same
Right.
space.
I feel
Yeah.
that.
Was
So
this the day that you had that you guys had
Yeah.
Thunderful?
yeah,
So I had
he had
Thunderful that day.
Thunderfall and I had Whitethorn.
Go ahead, Deontay, before I jump into that.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure this was also the day that I had Wanted Dead.
Yes, you
Yes.
did. Yeah. I think
Why
you
don't
had the last
fuck
appointment
yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, he did.
Oh
Why-
God.
Why don't you talk about that first? Because I played a few games at Thunderfall, so why don't you jump
Yeah.
into Wanted Dead first?
Yeah.
Shout out Jeffrey, my guy.
Shout
from
out
Fun-
Jeffrey.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Yes,
another
Planet
goat.
Attack. Y'all are goats. Yes.
I'm gonna have to learn or practice how to pronounce this developer name. Soliel? Yeah, anyway.
Where are they from?
It's a good question. It's not my notes. But yeah, Wanted Dead is exactly what it's trying to be. The breakdown of it so far is like it is a love letter to the action, first the action games, but also the cover shooters of the 6th generation consoles we had. So yeah, I'm talking
Games
like oddly enough, Ninja Gaiden, which former members of Team Ninja worked on this game. So when I say part of it feels like Ninja Gaiden, yeah, it feels like Ninja Gaiden. But there's also a cover shooting mechanic in there as
That's
well.
what I was gonna say, because Ninja Gaiden's not a cover shooter.
Right.
Not at all.
Ninja Gaiden's not a cover shooter. So the thing is, this game focuses more on the melee aspect of things, but the cover shooter shit is there and it's fully functional, and it gives you more of an option of what you want to focus on. But so much detail and love is given to the physical side of things that you're naturally just going to want to do that. Their combo system is cool as hell, right? So let's say, you know, where you would have like square as your light attack and triangle as your heavy attack. And here square is like your standard physical attack and triangle is a quick shot with the pistol.
Oh,
It works
okay.
completely different from the other shooting mechanic because you can still hard aim with L2 and fire your gun with R2 like your regular rifle and shit. But this pistol ties together your combos. So you can go attack, attack, pistol, attack, 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 pistol, attack. It changes what you do based on where you place that shot.
Okay.
So it's interesting. But also it's a game that's not taking itself too seriously at all, right? Settings wise, it is in the future, imagined by the 1980s.
Okay, that makes total sense. Actually, that's a good description.
Right. So
Neon everywhere.
yes, neon everywhere. They're still kind of wearing 80s type clothes, but they've got like fucking high-tech armor over these 80s fucking outfits and shit like that. But like I said, it's doesn't take it so seriously at all. So the loading screen was actually the reskin gif of that one roasting meme where they're in the park and dude roasts guy and the fucking motherfucker pops in front of the screen. Everybody's like going, ah, going crazy over the roast.
Super hot fire.
Yes, super hot fire, exactly. Yes,
I know
it is
exactly
a
the meme.
clip. It is the clip from that where dude fucking goes across the screen. But it's these characters instead.
That's funny.
And I
know
laughed my
exactly what
ass
you're
off
talking about.
like mid-interview. I was like, this has all the personality that I would want. It feels good to play. You know what I mean? Of course, it needs more polishing, but that was a lot of the shit we played.
Yeah,
recently.
the fine tuning of
the
things.
fine tuning will come later.
I
Yes.
see that they have a bunch of mini games as well. You can play on arcade machines.
Yes.
I saw like a rhythm game type shit going on in the trailer. There's also like anime. Are they anime cutscenes or is that just for the trailer?
So they have animated cutscenes, like anime cutscenes. They have CG cutscenes. They have like in-game shit. From my understanding, they might also have like still panels in use as well.
Oh, okay.
They spoke about how open they wanted to be with that, but they're also talking about lore, right? So there is a lore to this. It is it's a very kooky, not taking itself too seriously type game, but they are creating outside media for it as well, right? So possibly, comics and other short videos and stuff like that you can have to aid your overall experience when playing this game. And I
didn't
believe
like how-
I was just talking about needing some more of that in my life.
Was okay?
I was just gonna say I didn't like that how their booth was set up because you couldn't even like watch it from the outside. Like you needed to go play it. You couldn't just spectate, which meant that because I didn't play it, I didn't get to see anything about it. So I just have to listen to get Deontay to tell us how. But with some of the other games, I could at least watch y'all play, right, or watch somebody else play. But with that, you couldn't. So.
Dope.
But yeah, so I spent a lot of time at Thunderful during that day. Shout out Jeff once again from Plan of Attack. But the first game that I checked out with them was a game called Planet of Lana, which is a planet, which is a puzzle platformer in the same vein as something like Inside or Limbo. You're a character Lana, you're traveling with some kind of little creature, and you're traversing the world and trying to solve puzzles. You use the creature in order to reach different places that you can't, trigger different levers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will say, and I was talking to someone else about this as well, is I don't feel like the trailer was the best representation of the game. Sorry, not the trailer,
the demo.
The demo, yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
the best
you were
representation.
saying that it like didn't show enough of anything for you to really get a feel of what it is.
Exactly. All I saw was pretty platformer, which there are a ton of pretty puzzle platformers out there, and I have a feeling that there's something that distinguishes this game from those, but right now I can't tell you what that is just based off of the demo alone. But that was Thunderful's kind of big push for this weekend, was Planet of Lana at their booth. It had the biggest
Yeah, that had the biggest backdrop.
literally the biggest. But to me, they had way better games on display, which I'll kind of get into. So the next game is one of my personal games of the show, which is Wavetale. Which is kind of like an action adventure game, cel shaded graphics. You traverse via skating on water, and the reason why you're able to do that is because of some dark clone of yourself that is existing under the water. So the clone is walking
That's
under the water, and
cool
you're
as shit,
yeah,
bro.
and you're
That's dope as fuck.
and
I
your feet
love
are
it.
walking on top. It's so dope, and just the movement, you're able to just glide across, and then you can like jump up in the air, and then you can dive down and go underwater, and then pop back up, and then you also have a like a little gliding mechanic as well. You can also have a grappling hook that you're able to use to reach higher places, and just the movement is so fluid, incredibly fluid movement. Everything just made sense. Um, Also the detail that they put into certain things like the water or the clouds or even just the facial expressions of the characters is just really cool. It's just dripping with character. It's very bright, it's very colorful, and it's fun to play. So that's one of my games of show personally. Really, really good. So after Wavetale, I jumped into another thing about Wavetale, by the way. So Thunderful are obviously publishers, but Wavetale is their first game as a dev studio. So Wavetale is kind of a passion project for them, and it's the only game that they had which they actually made.
Yeah,
So
Thunderful Group development and Zoink Games, and we know them. So. Oh, and it's
No.
actually it's already been out on Steam, and so they're bringing it to other stuff now, right? Oh yeah, it launched on
apparently it's
Stadia.
It
Yeah,
launched on Stadia. Yay, Stadia.
fucking
so-
Stadia.
Fucking Stadia. So after that, I jumped into a game called Worldless, which is
Wait, it's Worldless, right? With an S.
I don't know actually.
I feel like somebody corrected us on that when we had said Worldless, and they were like, "It's Worldless."
Let's see, World.
With an S.
No, it's Worldless.
It's Worldless.
Yeah.
Or maybe it
So
was something else
Worldless is a Metroidvania side-scrolling action adventure platformer. It's developed by No Name Studios. Essentially, you are this light entity, and I don't mean light like heavy light, like you're like literally made of light. And you are traversing the world, trying to free it of some kind of corruption. When you get into a battle, it is turn-based, but with action elements. So, for example, you are attacking via a turn-based mechanic, but at the moment that you attack and the moment that your attack hits, if you hit a button, you're able to do additional damage. If you hit a button while you are trying to block an attack in the defense phase, then you are able to like either parry or negate more of the damage from the enemy attack.
Nice.
You also can absorb enemies, and the absorption had a different mechanic, which was like a quick time mechanic. So you had a certain amount of time to push a series of buttons, but those buttons weren't made available to you unless you did enough damage to the creature that you were trying to absorb. So let's say I do like 20% damage to the creature, I may only get one of the buttons that I'm supposed to press, right? And I would have to guess the rest. Whereas if I do 90% damage to the entity or whatever, then I see all of the buttons, and then I have to press all of them in time, which for me was hard because I don't know Xbox controllers, and I don't know it without looking down at the buttons, right? But no,
Plays Nintendo Switch, picks up Xbox controller. Fuck.
exactly.
Then picks
Which
a
one is
PlayStation
the
controller.
X
Double
button? I
fuck.
don't know. They're all in different places on every controller I pick up. Ah.
Fucking buttons. But no, really, really gorgeous game. So then last I moved on to what is my other game of the show, which is Nostalgaia, and I wish I could remember your name who showed me. So Jeff didn't show me this one. Somebody else showed me this game. We also did an interview, so you'll get to see that. But Nostalgaia, he described it as the Souls-like that you never knew that you wanted. And so,
Dope.
Nostalgaia is a Souls-like, but the premise is that the world is being corrupted by pixelation. So the world is gradually becoming more and more pixelated, and the job of the hero is to essentially restore fidelity to the world. And so you are going through trying to again restore fidelity. So the visuals of the game will change when you've restored fidelity to an area, and all of a sudden look way better than they started. But at the same time, it's being narrated in a similar fashion to like the voice of Grimoire Vice and shit like that, right? So there's a comedic undertone of the narrator essentially
Grimoire Vice.
saying that the character, the hero, isn't shit, and that he's gonna die. And
Yeah, bro, the
he's
narrator
like,
hates you.
yeah, he hates you. At some point, he's like, "What are you gonna do? How are you gonna save the world when you're the most pixelated thing in here?" And literally, you are. You're a stick figure made up of pixels. But it's a great game, dude. I think the fucking juxtaposition between this is a fucking Souls-like, so it's gonna be a hard game, right? But at the same time, it's just this completely ridiculous concept, and then it's funny. It's really funny at the same time. So whereas dying in a Souls-like can sometimes feel frustrating, dying in this game wasn't so much frustrating, just because of the way the game is set up and the concept behind the game. The narrator like berates you, and that makes it kind of funny. So Nostalgia is the name of that one. A play on words of nostalgia.
Good. All right. And then any other appointments that we had that day?
I had
I know
Whitethorn.
this day was busy. Oh yeah, Whitethorn. This is when we went over to was over there with you for
Onsen Master.
Onsen Master in the last sanctuary?
No,
Or the
it
Forest
was
Sanctuary?
the Forest Sanctuary. Yeah.
Okay. So Onsen Master, best way to describe it, and pretty much is like, yep, this is it.
Overcooked. Yeah, Overcooked versus Overcooked and Spirited Away. Yeah, it's essentially just a game where Oni come in to your bathhouse, and you have to, based off their obviously the icon that pops on the top of their head, you have to make a tub for them, and basically you have to grab whatever mineral they want, take it to the center of the game, grind it up, and then put it into the tub, and then you have to grab them by the hand and kind of lead them to the onsen, and then just throw them in there. And the cool thing is there's also a boss battle. So essentially, if you've ever seen Spirited Away and you know about the river god that came in, and how like big and yucky he was, like essentially that one of them come in and they're so big that they like get in your way. And so like you have to like go around them, and then there's also some other cool aspects too, is that like after a certain amount of people get in the tub, it becomes dirty and you have to clean the tub, and then when they get out, they leave a water puddle, so you have to clean up the water puddle so that the other guests don't slip. So it's a really intricate game, and it was actually really kind of fun. It definitely was kind of a like kind of turn off your brain kind of thing. Like, you know, it wasn't like too difficult. Yeah, it was very intuitive.
Was it multiplayer, Justin?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Four players?
I think
it's only
I think it's
two.
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, I think it's only 2. I actually spoke with the designer. He was the one that entered the one that actually sat me down in for Onsen. His name is Derek Fields, and he was the one that kind of talked to me about the game. And about, you know, and when he was talking to me about it, I was like, it looks like Spirited Away and Overcooked, and he was like, yeah, it's that. And I'm like, all right, bet. But yeah, definitely go give it a look. See, it's already been out. I think it's been out since I want to say its initial release date was 2021, February 2021. But it's now coming out on Steam. And I think it is Steam Deck verified. I think I did ask him about that.
A lot of developers love Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them were running the games
On
off of
Steam Deck. Yep. Yes, they were.
And that's on in itself. Hey.
Also, shout out to rollback netcode being a thing over at PAX.
And Bare Butt Boxing.
Right?
Bare Butt Boxing has
Rollback
net code. Let that sink in. And it's the Forest Cathedral.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
And yes, you also played that one.
I did.
What was that?
I don't know.
It was kind of like, I think the best way to describe it is like The Witness in a sense. Where it's like you have a first person's perspective and you go around to do different challenges, and with each one of those challenges you're kind of trying to figure out what to do. So like sometimes but also it's like a platformer on certain occasions. So there's like the screen that the character can pick up to see like lines and piping in the forest that you can't just see. And then you can go up to screens and there's pretty much it turns into a platformer. But the camera is situated, shout out Brian Wilson, designed this game. It's set up where you have the screen that you're doing the platformer on, but it's situated so much on the screen that's your sole focus for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a sliver on the side that like you could see the forest, and as Brian was describing to us, some like the more you play through stuff like that, things will happen on the side. Like I had noticed, Justin, when you were going through it, like there was a bridge that had kind of risen up on the side. Yeah, there was stuff happening. It was something. It was either for like the fish to go through, but stuff was happening on the side.
Oh, the net that came up. You're talking about? Yeah. So
it's like your perspective is so channeled in on this red and black that the rest of the screen you might not even notice.
Yeah.
And,
so essentially, like the game, the screen you're talking about, it's essentially like the puzzle aspect of the game, where you kind of have to do these platforming things and turn on and turn off mechanisms. That's how like you would essentially use that to turn them off and turn them on. So the bridge rose purely because I completed the puzzle and I think turned on all the electrical currents that would lift up the net. And so I think that's where the puzzle aspect comes in. But like I said, it was kind of interesting because going through the game, I wasn't incredibly sure like what the point of it was. It seemed like it was kind of just we were going like it was kind of giving like an introduction to the game, but
it was very exposition heavy.
Yeah,
like basically there was this virus going around, and I believe it's an actual virus that scientists made to pretty much steady the mosquito population.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but what they were using to get rid of the mosquitoes, fish will eat mosquitoes and all that, and so it's affecting their biology, and so they're slowly dying off, and so they're trying to figure out what's going on with the fish and how is it affecting what's going on in the world. And I guess you're saying like sometimes when you're focused on the platformer, like that sliver, like things might happen on the side that you don't know about. So
wasn't it based off of like a real I feel like it was based off of a real event, right?
Yeah. So it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Shout out Brian Wilson. This is his second game. And then also on Saturday, I also tried out a metalcore, and Deontay was in there with me for that. And I wish I had a controller, because this was my game that I played keyboard and mouse. And it's a first-person shooter, Battlefield like, where there's 3 factions, just big battlefields. And as soon as you run out, there are mechs that you can get into, different classes of mechs and everything like that. Very rich in lore, and also has NFTs. And this is the only game of the show that we played that actively has NFTs involved in it. And it's not like... It's like the way that they're implementing it is more of like, this is a loadout or a gun or a mech that I've collected, and you could trade that with friends and everything like that. So it's not so much like like a scummy, weird NFT thing because it's actually tied into gameplay and just kind of ways of switching things up. Like, you don't have to be involved with the NFT aspect of it, but if so, it's there.
I want to add, as I'm listening, or as I was in the room listening to them explain the function of their NFT, I was like, this doesn't even necessarily have to be called an NFT. This could be a fucking function of the game. But I don't want to be nitpicky. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I feel like it just, even in that sense, it's almost trying to ride the lightning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's practical implementation sounds use, right? Or it's implementation rather.
Yeah, the
It's
implementation of it is sound. It's like,
it's
okay, I
great.
see
It's
where
like,
you're
okay, you
going
have
with
this awesome fucking weapon, or you have this part, or this cannon on the Mac and shit. I don't have that shit. You might have like paid for that or something, but you can say, hey, here, run this. Or I have these two loadouts, run this loadout. This has items that I own, and I can, since I own them, I can do what I want with them essentially, which is let you use them for this while I use my other shit, or just
Mhm.
we can trade. I can let you just run my shit for a week while I'm gone. Some shit like that.
Yeah. And the game is very lore heavy, but it's still just a multiplayer only game.
Mm-hmm.
And like they kind of gave us the rundown of the base synopsis of the game, and that the story continues while you're playing multiplayer and doing different types of missions. And so sometimes you could get to a mission for the story events, and other people can join in with you, like they're a part of that story. So honestly, kind of like a Final Fantasy raid, or like a Destiny instance in a sense can pop up where there's a specific area that people can go to for this challenge or for this specific thing and help each other out, or just duke it out because there's 3 different factions that'll be on the map. So very interesting. Like a Final Fantasy Fate, Justin, that like those can
Yeah.
pop up.
Oh,
I
nice.
like, because the battlefields are pretty big. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine Battlefield, but with mechs.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
like I brought up to them that it's just like, the last mech thing we had was Titanfall and right now,
Right.
so
Oh no.
it's just like anytime I see mech something, it's like, let's fucking go. Armored Core, I'm looking at you, but Souls, you can do no wrong to me, baby. Just keep it pumping. I'm here. But yeah, no. Overall, like I said, having to use a keyboard and mouse on a fucking first-person shooter, and I haven't done that shit in years. I'm like, oh no, my fingers don't know how to move correctly. But
I
yeah.
I checked out a few more that day. So one of them was 30XX,
Oh,
um, which is a sequel to 20XX. Um, Essentially, they took the formula from 20XX and just expanded upon it. It's a bigger game. Um, what 20XX was is a roguelike, a Mega Man roguelike, essentially, like a Mega Man roguelike type clone. The second one is now multiplayer, so you can play both online and couch co-op with one friend. You have 2 characters. One is more of a melee character, and one is more of a shooter character, more long ranged. And yeah, it has all the elements of a roguelike. So you have different power ups that you can gain. You also remember in Hades where you would have the underground room. Fuck, what was it called?
I know
Where
what
it
you're
was,
talking about. Where
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Where you could get a choice, and it was like kind of high risk, high reward. So you might,
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So there's a guy in 30XX that could challenge you and will say to you, "Hey, you go the next, the rest of the run with minus 50 health, but I'll give you this awesome power up or something like that, right?" So
Oh,
you
yeah.
you
That's
make
very
the choice whether you
Hades-esque.
want to take it or not.
Got you,
Yeah.
got you.
So that was cool. But the one thing that I found interesting about this game is that they are building another mode on top of it called what they call Mega Mode, which essentially allows you to play it like a typical Mega Man game would play, in the sense that it procedurally generates your run at the start of your run, but then it saves the run. So things don't continue to be procedurally generated. At that point, it's created your run for you, and you play through the game with lives like you would a regular game.
Oh,
So it
that's
gets rid of
dope.
that permadeath mechanic, and
That's
yeah.
dope.
So I thought that was really cool and really interesting. And that I don't think they have an idea of a release date. They're still working on it. But the version of the game that I played seemed fine to me. I didn't feel like there was anything wrong. The combat was fun and engaging. I got to play through one boss fight, and that was fun. I also got to watch a couple people play in co-op with another person, and it looks awesome to play with somebody else. He did say that the difficulty does scale slightly when you have a second person, but he said that the game is also slightly easier with two people. So I don't know.
Give and
yeah,
take, give and take.
give and take, yeah.
For sure.
So, but yeah, it was cool.
Oh, good.
And then the last place that I spent time, and I think you guys spent some time here as well, maybe, was at the Tiny Built.
Yes, your experience
area.
and my experience were vastly different.
Okay, talk about yours.
So mine's
It was comfy.
okay,
it
yeah,
was
walking
really
through the tiny
It
build
was
booth at the time
comfy.
was amazing.
That shit was comfy as fuck, bro.
Around my appointment time, I guess everybody was on lunch, everybody was on break, nobody knew where nobody was.
Damn.
But the community manager for what's the vacuum games called?
Justice Sucks.
Justice Sucks. So the community manager, she was there to talk to me a little bit about it. And there were 3 different levels you could try it, and Cam will be able to talk more about it afterwards. But overall, the game itself is fun. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's stressful when you get caught. Holy shit, it gets stressful. Like, the level I was playing on, it was like the 3rd one and definitely the hardest. But there's guards everywhere. They got flashlights, and you have to disarm like 4 bombs that are in the room.
Shit.
I could not disarm a single one of them bitches, because as soon as one saw me, they were on my line, because once they see you need to get away, because they start like attacking you, and the more you run away, the more guards you're going to run into, and you just have to kind of sneak underneath stuff, but also you're like, fuck, they know where I am, and clock is ticking and all that. But it's fun. You're a little Roomba. You can go around, suck up little items, and then you also shoot them back at opponents and everything like that to defend yourself. When you see that blood's on the floor and all that, you're just gonna go around and clean it up, all that. It was fun though. It was a fun game.
It's cool. So I guess that the premise is, like Darren was saying, you're this Robovac, and you're trying to save your home from these intruders. The level that I played was they were burglars, but I don't know if in the other levels they're different. But yeah, you're triggering traps and trying to lure people into the traps by doing different things, taking out the enemies and preventing them from like stealing and destroying your home. After you're able to clear each wave of enemies, you beat the stage, and then you have a cleaning phase. And then you get a certain score based on how well you're able to clean up after yourself. So that includes sucking up the bodies of the people that you killed, sucking up the blood from the floor, getting rid of footprints, all things like that. And you're trying to get as close to 100% as possible. So it was fun. It was really interesting as a concept. And that is my life. Like, literally, I dread the day when my Robovac gain sentience, and I always talk to Yvette about it. I'm like, man, this
robots, bro.
Bruh.
Dog, it's gonna help you. It's gonna save you. What you mean?
Maybe it's gonna turn on me and suck me up.
Oh, hey yo, hey yo. All right, and so, like I said, your experience different than mine, because I was gonna check that out as well as Asterigos. But there was nobody there for that at all. So I was like, well, all right, I played just, all right, on I go. And that was kind of it.
So I got to play Rawmen and Asterigos too. Rawmen is, it's not a battle royale. It's a team-based food fighting game where you are essentially engaged in food fighting against another team. Each character type has different special abilities. So I played as, I think, a chef, and I was able to put like a bucket over my head, but also summon something that looked like a graham cracker, and like put that up as like a shield, and so yeah, that was able to block the attacks of certain people. I was trash at the game. I'm not even gonna front. I was so bad at it. I felt like as I went on, I got better, but I don't know. Some of these people felt like pros, bro. You had like long range attacks. You also had melee attacks. After you die, you respawn right away, and then it's whoever has the most points by the end of the game. So that was Rawmen. Pretty cool. Also, they had a claw machine outside, and I won something.
He did, that
He
bastard.
had to, you fuck.
I've never been good at claw games, but this one
You
I
did
managed
that.
to get.
Yeah, you
So
did. You really did do that shit.
I won a little dumpling, or steam bun, I guess.
Hey, I'll
But anyway.
I'll trade you my broccoli for your steam bun.
Haha, you want my steam bun?
I want your steam bun.
I trade you my steam bun for your steam deck. No,
Oh wow, that
Yeah,
does
okay.
wait well.
Yeah, okay.
I'm playing. You can have the bun. So last thing I played was Asterigos, as Darren said. Classic adventure, action adventure type game. In the same vein, I guess, as something like, I was gonna say like God of War, because that's what they said, but it doesn't have the same scale as something like God of War. But I guess I could draw comparisons if I really tried. Has like a similar upgrade system where you can upgrade weapons, so definitely some RPG elements to it. But the boss battles specifically felt very Monster Hunter like. Each of the bosses had these like crazy like intros where their name came up, and then the monster, the visuals of the monster froze, and then it flashed the name of the monster. And the boss that I played against was an alligator, and you have several different weapons at your disposal. Again, a melee weapon, a long range weapon, and then you also have access to magic.
It looks mad like Kana / Dauntless.
Yeah, 100%. That's a 100% accurate comparison, for sure. With the boss battles feeling more like Dauntless, and then your like every day, or like your minute to minute action feeling more like Kina. But yeah, it was cool. But out of the three, I would actually say that was my least favorite. It was clearly the one that has the biggest budget, just from looking at it. But it was
Visually, it looks great, but I could even tell mechanically. I see like, was it Ravenous the Devourer, the like blue alligator?
Oh,
Like,
yep.
yeah, like I'm looking at the animations and everything like that. I'm like, all right, very telegraphed and all that, but it also, like, you could tell that there's not as much programming in the monsters as something like Monster Hunter is, whereas like you could tell how they react. You could tell like I see it like going in a circle and then start the circle again. I was like,
Right.
that first strike around should have formed into an attack of some form. So I
Also,
see what you mean.
to take a potion, you have to stop moving.
Old Monster Hunter.
I'm about to
as I
say, is
live
that
and
old
breathe.
Monster Hunter? Oh no.
That was frustrating. And just again, we talked about games feeling kind of clunky earlier, and this felt a little bit like that. It didn't. The combat wasn't fun. The combat wasn't fluid. So I think some work needs to be done on that. But overall, I guess I see the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the vision. So
Like aesthetically, like we're fighting in, and like all the water's still flowing in this little lake and everything like that you're fighting in.
yep.
Like I see it
Aesthetically,
exactly. I think I agree with you. I'm like looking out. It's like I can see where they're going.
right.
So
Also, their positioning of screens in comparison to where you were sitting was the most neck-breaking shit ever. So the stools were hella low, the screens were hella high, so you were just like had your head cranked up the entire time. My neck, bro.
They're trying to help your posture,
My
Cam.
neck, my back. No, that's not good posture though. I was like this.
I mean, hey man, it's either shoulders scrunched, head forward and down, or shoulders back and head stretched up in the air. You gotta pick one.
I felt like a baby bird. You know, when the baby bird.
You
like,
stupid. You stupid dumb. Boo to you. All right, and I think that concluded day 2.
Yep.
Yep. We ended the Rogue Party, which we won't talk about on stream, but
Right.
thank you to everyone at Rogue.
Thank you to everybody, Rogue. Shadow once again, Tribes, you fucking goat. We appreciate you. We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
everybody we met there that night who hung out
That's
with
a
us.
posture check.
Our game is great. So, you know. And then day 3, I will say our most low-key day for sure. Not too much going on. Deontay, from you though, Cyberpunk End Runners or Edge Runners, you went to that pre-screening.
Yes,
Yes.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Can I say that I'm glad that we got something else in this world, because despite the broken game we got with Cyberpunk 2077, this world is interesting as fuck, right?
Which also got its expansion announced today. How
Right,
about
it
that?
got its expansion. And from what I hear, I haven't looked too much into it, but the expansion is based on the anime. So
Oh,
No.
wow. Okay.
The
Look at
riding
them
that riding that wave. Cool. All right.
Also,
that's
CD
I'm
Projekt
fine
Red
with it,
are
considering we introduced a couple of characters that are, you know.
I knew I liked the game
thing
for a
about-
reason.
One thing about Cyberpunk is it has an interesting world. I already said that, but specifically in regards to the characters, it's so full of life. All the people that you interact with in this world are memorable in some way, shape, or form. And that came out in full effect in this. I got to see the first 2 episodes, and just glancing at it, you're all like, yep, Animation Studio Trigger. Our main character looks a little bit like Kamina, except this time, his name is David.
That is such a basic ass name.
Oh, his name is basic as shit. But I think I kind of appreciated it. I don't know. It made it like his name isn't important, but what is happening here is, you know, you're gonna remember me.
Right. You gonna remember this blue-haired Trigger Pro tag.
Right. Without spoiling it too much, it throws you right into the shit. It lets you know that this ain't no regular fucking anime you're watching. You know, this
You
is
said it's gory, right?
this
I
is
hear it's not for
Cyberpunk
kids
first.
at all.
Oh, it's not for kids at all. It's gory. It's sexual.
Nani?
It's all of that. I want to say it's Cyberpunk first.
Hey man,
and,
I'm about to say if you
and
played
anime
Cyberpunk,
second.
then it makes sense.
Very much so. Cyberpunk first, anime second, and
I see.
that aids to it. Also, the theme song is
He said
very.
very.
You're gonna know it. It's "This Fire" by Franz Ferdinand.
No way.
I swear to God, I was in that theater singing along and shit.
Oh, that's
But it's
tight.
it's kind of a weird mix, so it doesn't really go into the full chorus, but it's almost mixed specifically for the show. It is cool. Yeah, without spoiling too much of what happened, you gonna want to watch this. I know I left with the fucking biggest. I don't even want to say that. That makes me feel uncomfortable. I left feeling unfulfilled, and not in a bad way. I wanted to sit there and watch more. I was willing to sit there for another hour and a half. Right
I
there.
believe it's coming to Netflix this week.
Oh,
for all
it's
of you
coming
live viewers
soon.
right now. It is
Super,
coming
super
soon,
soon.
so you too will be able to watch Cyberpunk
Also,
Edge Runners.
I'm a little biased, bro. I'm a little biased, bro. Studio Trigger.
Studio Trigger, like
Animation Studio Trigger. You can feed me anything. I haven't been mad at anything you guys have given me so far. I trust you.
honestly,
Do
They
the
be
damn
goated.
thing.
yes.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't even think.
And then, you know, shout out to CD Projekt Red, of course.
Yes. Down to them.
Specifically because Polish, or we like the Polish. You
Oh
guys,
man, it's like some of those people from that premiere were at that party.
right? Right.
All things are connected.
And all things are connected.
But
I
I don't
have
think I
your
had any
game.
appointments on Sunday. I think the only thing I really played, I went and played Shovel Knight Dig. Game's dope. It feels like Shovel Knight. Like,
Did anybody have appointments on Sunday like that?
I think
I had
Cam
two.
and I think early on you guys did.
Well, I had Ysbard and
Same. I had Ysbard too.
and the last recruit.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That was that day. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then, real quick, yeah, Shovel Knight Dig, another game set in the Shovel Knight universe. Kind of like the best way I can describe it, without seeing it, is kind of like Think Dig Dug, where you just kind of dig down to the ground, over to the side, all this, avoiding enemies, avoiding stuff that can fall on you. But they take it to the next level because like they have giant like cubes that are drills that will like go to the side. Sometimes you have to hit something to make it explode to go deeper into the earth, and then when you get down to the bottom, you end up getting to a boss fight.
Pierce the heavens.
No, this is a shovel, sir.
And they're going downwards, not upwards.
Right.
Pierce hell.
Shit.
It's hell, right?
But yes, Yacht Club Games still doing the damn thing. Did you ever get a chance to play Miwa, Cam? Over at
No,
Yacht
I
Club?
didn't. I didn't.
That's the one game I do regret not getting a chance to play.
Yeah, I know. I run out of time.
I feel that. All right, well then, yeah, go ahead on your guys' apartments with Ysbard and all that. And I think also we played, just on the side, Cricket, Jay's
Oh yeah! How
adventure.
could I forget about that?
Cricket was dope. Another Earthbound like little indie RPG game. Shout out Jimmy Zhang. You
Hand
get
drawn.
awesome conversations with the director for that. Hand drawn, good music, good feels.
Good feels. That's exactly
Yes.
what I was gonna say. It's
Good
like you're going
feels.
on an adventure with your friends.
Right. Justin played Demo, and I'll let you go into that for a
Oh, that-
second. You can talk about that
Ooh.
for a minute.
Okay.
The
Okay.
other thing I had played was this game Melatonin that comes out next year, and it's pretty much a vibey rhythm heaven.
Oh,
That's
was that
best
the
way I
one?
can describe it.
Was that the one I was at with you?
Yeah. Or it's like the main character is dreaming, and in the dream, like for the mini game that I had played, it was like you're swiping your card to buy stuff. So like to the beat, you'll just see like dun 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 dun, dun, and it's like different items. And then like when you swipe the card, you'll see the like shopping bag pop up with it if you hit it at the right time. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Yes,
So you're
sir.
just going along, and so you hear the beat, you follow the beat, and push the button with it. So if you've ever played Rhythm Heaven, that's basically what it is. But it's just a nice chill vibe to it.
Yo, shout out to the developer though, because like I think he was standing over us watching Darren and I play, and when we finished, he was like, "Yo, that was actually pretty good." And we were like,
But I think at
"We
a certain
do
point, I
this."
like had my hand like this with the controller. And I'm
Yeah.
just going along with it. 'Cause I was like, oh, Rhythm Heaven, got it.
Yep, we
And,
do this.
Yeah. So that was dope.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Justin played Demo. Shout out Alex VR, Jasmine VR, all of y'all over there.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes, Demo was fantastic. So essentially, Demo started off as a VR only game, and has recently come to Steam, and it's essentially a Dungeons and Dragons game. You can play as, I think they said it was 6 characters. Each character has their own set of unique skills and abilities. They can be used by purchasing these kind of cards that you get. And then once you have those cards, you can actually equip them and use them in game. And depending on, and you have to roll the dice. So you have to roll a dice that has 1 sword, 2 swords, or a skull. And so if you hit the skull, it's a miss. But the thing is, if you miss, you will randomly attack a square that's next to you. So if one of your character or one of another players is next to you, or one of your allies, you will actually hit them. Like you can actually cause a lot of damage.
you got a bad roll, bro.
Yep. And 1 sword obviously is just your normal attack, and 2 is your crit. The interesting thing about the game though, is that it's very, very much co-op based. Like you have to talk to your party. Like it's something you'll want to do. That's going to make the game so much easier. Oh, the collaboration. Yeah. So when I had sat down, I had no idea how to play the game. I had no idea about any of the mechanics. And I was able to sit down and play with 3 other people who were already in game. So I was able to jump straight into their game from wherever they were at. And essentially they just walked me through how to play the game. And we D&D do, so we do this. So they didn't actually have to go too deep into the game. They just had to kind of give me like, this is how you attack, this is how you move, this is where we're trying to go. And we wound up clearing the level. Like, it was me and 3 random dudes, like you said. Shout out to Alex VR. And we just killed the level. And so me and Alex wound up becoming really close because he was like, bro, I didn't even have to tell you nothing. Like, you just like did this shit. And I'm like, dude, this is what we do. We love D&D. This is how we live. And he was like, dude, I'm trying to tell you. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you. And then, yeah. So, yeah. And I really love the game a lot because right after I finished, I hit up Neo Reaper, Seth, Define Wine, and told him, I was like, yo, I got a game. I got a new game for us. We need to play. And shout out to Alex, who also said that me and Seth and then him and his boy can hop on a campaign and stream it, do all that stuff. So shout out to him.
Yes, sir. Good.
Outside of my appointments, I also stumbled on another game that I want to talk about before I jump into the shit that I had appointments for. So me and Justin actually, I played and Justin watched a game called Infinite Guitars.
Oh.
Which is just this crazy, again, it looks hand-drawn, very much looks like an anime game, which combines action, RPG elements with rhythm game elements also. And so when you're in the overworld, it's very much action-based, real-time attacks, everything like that, exploration. When you're unlocking doors, it starts a rhythm game, and you're using the rhythm game mechanic to unlock the door, right? So you get through the rhythm sequence by pushing a series of buttons to the music and whatever, and then you're able to unlock a door. But then also when you get into the bigger battles, it's turn-based combat. And so it's like fusing these 3 things, and that was the draw. So this guy, at the beginning of the game, it asks you, do you like rhythm games? How good would you say that you are at rhythm games? And then based on what you say, it sets your difficulty level for the rhythm game portion at easy, normal, hard. Then it says, do you like action games? Are you good? And then it sets your level for that. Do you like turn-based games? Yes, somewhat, very much so, whatever. Are you good at them? You give an answer, and then that sets your level for each of those 3, and you can go back in and adjust it. But yeah, and the main character is black.
Hey.
Or he's at least brown skinned. I don't know if he's black.
Oh, I thought it was a woman.
Is that a woman?
I thought it was a woman.
Yeah, I think it is a woman. I think you're right.
Because if not, then I might be in trouble.
Because
I was like, yo, she bad.
The dev team is Nico, but it's published by Humble Games.
Oh, nice.
So the description on Steam says, fight mechs with a metal crushing rock in Infinite Guitars, a genre-melting rhythm RPG featuring vibrant anime-inspired art and a blazing original soundtrack. Battle against war machines with electrifying guitar solos and save the planet.
Yeah,
Really cool.
Cam actually had me listen to the soundtrack. He gave me the headphones. Like the soundtrack was fire. Like the soundtrack was going in.
What was this called again?
Infinite Guitars.
Okay.
Darren's like, noted.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cam doesn't see gender. So my 2 appointments for the day were with Ysbard, like Justin.
Yes, sir.
And then with Limited Run. So the game that I checked out at Ysbard was a game called No Place for Bravery, which is kind of like a top-down 2D RPG game, and it's about this father who is a retired warrior, who's essentially trying to go and find clues about the disappearance of his daughter and rescue her. But you're traveling with his son, so in that sense, the kind of relationship between the father and the son reminded me of God of War.
Oh boy.
The combat is very strategic in that things are attacking you from all different directions. You have to block, you have to parry, you have to be able to roll out of the way. But the interesting thing is that because the fighter or the warrior is retired, you are essentially going through the game and stopping at these save points, or the equivalent of like what are those things that you have in like Souls games where you stop at something and it
Like a bonfire, like
exactly.
a lantern, stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's like the equivalent of that, but he is recovering his memories, and essentially he's trying to recover the memories of when he was a powerful warrior, so that he can become stronger to save his daughter. Gorgeous looking game. I mean, like 2D kind of pixel art, gorgeous looking game. From what I've heard, and I got a little taste of it, but from what I heard from talking to one of the guys over there at Ysbard, is that it's a very emotional game. So get ready to cry.
We'll place for Bravery. Bit.
And then
Steam Switch. Yes.
Steam and Switch. And then I interviewed Limited Run, and that interview will be out shortly, so I'm not going to say any more about that interview.
Who was the interview with?
She was a girl.
She was a girl.
I don't remember, and I'm so sorry. We met so many people. I believe her name started with a C.
Elena Allen Baker.
Elena. There we go. Thank you. That is definitely not a C. That is an E. But yes.
Definitely not.
And we talked about everything from the acquisition to digital versus physical games, to the future of Limited Run, the past of Limited Run. So make sure you check out that interview. Justin's doofy.
Stupid.
Yeah, go watch that interview when we post it. It's good. It's good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
All right, Justin. You at Ysbard, you played an interesting game too.
Man. All right, so let me tell you guys about Demon School. So this was actually the game I was looking forward to most out of all of PAX, and I actually wound up missing it on our initial emails that we received, and Darren was like, "Yo, Justin, did you sign up for Demon School?" I was like, "No, why would I?" And he was like, "Did you watch the trailer?" I was like,
"Did you look at what it was?"
I was like, "No." And upon looking at it, I got really hyped about it. So So interestingly enough, when I brought up the Persona 5 similarities that people have stated about it, they actually denied any Persona 5 relative content. Like,
he's like, what did he say? It's just a coincidence.
Yeah, he said it's just a coincidence. Yeah.
Ysbard has that on their website though.
Oh, do they?
They do?
Yeah.
That's
understand that
interesting.
Ysbard is just the publisher for those games. They aren't the developers. The developer of that game was fucking Necrosoft.
Yeah, Necrosoft.
Necrosoft, yes.
Right. Shout out to Brandon. He's a Oaklander himself. Necrosoft is here. Necrosoft.
Oh,
is
that's
here.
right. He did tell us that he was based in Oakland.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That was. Oh, didn't he live in?
He don't dox the man.
Right.
But just know he's a local.
Yeah, that's right. He did tell us that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But basically, it's essentially. Well, I think he said it was like 13 characters. I think. Yeah, he said there's like 13 characters. They're not all out yet, of course. So I played with 4 characters that would essentially be 2 tanks, or your 2 attackers, 1 like mage / debuffer, and your healer and your medic. and they don't actually give you a tutorial. So what they give you is like a pamphlet that can kind of give you hints on how to play the game overall, but there is no actual tutorial. So they kind of throw you in the game. And so the demo had 2 sections. You can either go with the story mode, or you can go with the boss mode. I, being the one that wanted hands, went with the boss mode. And so
1 hour later,
That boss was gnarly, bro.
yeah, and so I wound up dying a lot because I didn't know specifically how to work the mechanics of the game. But with a few hints from I'm assuming is one of the developers of the game. He was able to kind of give me some hints on how to play the game, and with a little dying. I died a few times. I will say that
A little bit of
dying.
shout out Brandon Sheffield for helping my friend.
Yeah. I wound up beating the boss.
Yeah, he did.
And it was dope because I didn't, and so I wound up realizing I was playing handicap the whole time because I wasn't using any of their specials.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
And still, I feel like you didn't use the special until the very last hit that killed the boss. I'm like, he's like, you could have been using it.
I don't know if he meant to do it, but he used one earlier.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was
so
in
I
the match
didn't know.
before when he had wasted all the.
Yeah, so I didn't know that
long.
the way you can tell that the super is active is
glowing, right?
there's the glowing. Yeah, they glow. So I didn't know that, and so I had hit the button and not known that it actually went off. But now the game so far is fantastic, from what I can tell. The tactical abilities you have. The way the characters look, bro, the movement in the game is fantastic. One of the things that I really enjoyed was there are a lot of
looking at it before you. What kind of game is it?
it's a tactical RPG.
Okay, yeah, because you're saying the movement. I'm looking. I'm like, what do you mean?
Oh
What do
yeah,
you mean by that?
yeah. So it's a tactical RPG, and it's dope because essentially, when you move a character in a tactics game. They move to a certain spot and then the attack activates. In this game, the movement and the attack are one and the same. So if you go and hit a monster and then there's a monster to its left, say like 2 boxes over, when you hit the first monster, you'll see the character then make the dash to the second monster, and after the dash, it actually ends in a punch. So it's essentially like the movement and the attack are one and the same motion.
And he said he did that on purpose.
Yeah, he did that on
was by
purpose.
design.
Yeah.
He's trying to simplify. He doesn't want people to have to worry about, okay, now that I've moved, what attack should I do? Like, he wanted it to be like, okay, I'm going to move and then attack, and the character just does whatever attack it does.
But
Yeah.
also, it's like to bring a little speed to the world of the fucking tactical RPG, right? Where this game, like, it does move very fast, and your focus isn't so much on sitting there and selecting which attack you're going to do. It's placement, and it's almost like a puzzle, because you have to look at this board. You have things that you need to accomplish and things that you need to get away from, and you can even, the better you get, you can start playing stuff to your advantage and using elements of other, like the boss had this move when Justin was fighting where he had to clear himself away from a solid grid. It was like a 4x6,
It was like 4 by
grid,
4 by
right?
4, yeah.
And the skeleton would punch off to the side if you're there during that turn, and it would just fucking wipe you.
Oh, by the way, the characters that they initially had you using only had about 4 or 5 HP.
Yeah.
So
although you had one character who was constantly resisting.
Oh
attack.
yeah, that was the
You
tank.
had that motherfucker every attack,
Bro.
was like, nope, can't touch me. But
Yeah, that tank
Justin
was disgusting.
It was to the point where Justin, because your attacks, even if they don't kill the minor enemies, they will push the minor enemies. So he pushed the minor enemy in the way of the boss's fist. And I'm like, this is genius.
Right?
You can do so much. Like, you can you can have characters double team like Justin. I don't think Justin was paying attention. You actually did that in the beginning.
Oh, I did.
Your first match, you had characters double team.
Oh shit.
Or they can buff characters. You can have characters buff each other,
Yeah.
heal each other.
But the coolest thing is what Deontay said, and I didn't even know that it was possible. But if one of your characters hits the enemy into another one of your characters, you'll essentially do a combo attack.
No, that's
oh, sick! I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's dope. Like I can't tell you how like intricate and strategic this game seems like it's gonna be.
I was not interested in this game, and it's nothing against the game. It's just not my genre, right?
Right.
The more I watched you play, I was like, this would be the game that does get me into the genre. This right here would be. I'm gonna be looking at grids all day trying to figure out how I can do some smart shit.
What's the best?
What's the best way?
Hey.
And didn't he say you could also, so you could plan out your entire move and then rewind all the way to the beginning if you
You can
didn't like what
rescind rescind all of those fucking things just as long as you don't hit play.
And so the funny thing is, after he told me about all the characters that were in the game, I was like, is there a ninja character? He was like, no. I was like, is there a samurai character? He was like, I mean, there's a Yakuza with a sword. And then he was like, and I was like, and it's a woman? I was like, yes, that's all I needed. I'm good. And he was like, what? I was like, yep, that's all I need. I'm good.
Dear Lord.
I'm good.
Which I didn't mention earlier, but during Mato Anomolies, Justin also got called out by I don't know if it was the dev or somebody as part of the marketing team, but Justin got called out for being a horny boy because apparently he was the only person that, and this is in the words of the guy, the only person that openly in the middle of this exhibit hall decided to try and mac on the NPC female character. For the record, I'm like, oh, if you notice how I'm not surprised. This is on fucking brand for Justin. And so the next time he did it, the guy said to me, "Notice how I didn't flinch? And now I know what he's like."
That's amazing.
Wait, and then I think I actually asked because I think another female character had popped up on screen, and I was like, "Yo, can I mac on her too?" And he was he was like, "No, you can't."
I know. I guarantee if I was there, I would be standing next to him like, this is what we have to deal with. This is the shit.
Yes.
Even.
Yep.
Cool.
Hey man,
All
it is what it is.
Yes. And then
did anybody see anything else that day?
I was about to say, I was like,
the last recruit.
Short list of shit that we didn't have. We don't have appointments for.
Yeah.
Oh, River City Girls
round
as
off
well.
at the end.
Oh
yeah, you were at that
yeah,
like that
River
when you
City
were at,
Girls was real.
Limited Run.
Yo, River City Girls was really good.
I feel like Deontay is the most qualified. To
Yeah,
talk about
I
that
agree
game.
with that.
Yeah, I pretty much hijacked the interview toward the end. Just because we were geeking out, right? So River City Girls, developer, way forward. Love you guys.
Right.
River City Girls 2, I should say, since we already got River City Girls. This game is big. This ain't your normal side-scrolling beat 'em up. They did everything I wanted them to do with this game and more. Anything that you could remotely have, or you could say that the first game didn't meet your expectations with, it's like they listened. This has 4-player co-op, 6 characters to use. The combos and the moves, though, are so extensive. Like, we're used to being able to mix shit up in a different side-scrolling beat-em-ups, or being able to add skills. But the way the skills are used in here, and the fact, like, the individual motions and styles that the characters have for their movements, super cool. Who are you using? That one breakdancing girl?
Oh,
Nah, that was the whatchamacallit.
That was the one random.
That was the other guy.
That was the
using
random
them.
dude who was using
Yeah.
her?
Yeah.
I think her name's like
Oh.
Sophie.
No.
No, that
Sylvie?
wasn't it.
No.
Nah,
You-
it was like
you-
Perna.
You could chain the dance moves together, and what he said is that they would make an entire dance routine. So,
Yeah,
like,
but each
What?
variant is different.
yes,
That's
dude.
dope.
That
Like,
is dope.
because you can, the combos aren't linear necessarily.
Oh yeah,
So
you can pull
you can
different
mix them
combos,
up
yeah.
in different
everything.
ways.
different moves. Yeah.
She'll do
That's
different moves, and it'll be a coherent dance. It's super cool. It was basically brought to us by fucking Bannon Bannon Rudis. That's his name. I couldn't remember his last name because my autocorrect changed Rudis to Rufus. But Bannon Rudis, he's the person who created River City Ransom Underground. So some good fan work once again coming to be an official thing.
Prominent doing that
And
damn thing.
It goes to show you when you put someone who's a genuine fan of something behind the helm, they're going to show it the love it deserves.
Right.
Like he was talking about in his childhood, like these guys were kind of lost in the game. And this is before I started playing, where Ben and I were just talking, and he mentioned growing up, being a kid, drawing River City Ransom comics and shit. You know,
Inspirations, dog.
the inspiration's been there, and I was like, Double Dragon is what got me into side-scrolling beat 'em ups, and these are both reskinned Kunio-kun games. So we had a moment where we just geeked out on another level. It was super cool, but this game is huge. We played for a good minute, and that was just the intro. That was literally just the intro to take us into this world where we can apparently go wherever
Any
we want.
direction.
It's not a
Yeah.
linear experience like how the last one was, right? And apparently he said it's 4 times bigger than the first game. So I'm fucking excited.
Talk
I'm
about
super
some of the
excited.
characters that showed up that you recognized.
Oh, they just have little cameos by everybody. Like characters who were alive, and that's what I love so much about this project. It's not just Kunio-kun characters, but also River City Ransom characters, Double Dragon characters. They're treating them like this big universe. So when you go into the shop to get your new moves, it's fucking Jimmy Lee standing behind the counter looking really intense, who's selling you your moves. And you know, we saw shit like that in the first game, but it feels like even more love is pumped into this. Last thing I want to mention about this amazing game, this boss fight, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
How could
that
I
shit was
forget?
wild.
How could I forget
Hilarious.
about the boss fight?
I'm forgetting what his
Oh,
name
you
was,
guys
bro.
told me about this.
Yeah.
But basically, he's just a pompous rich dude who's got bodyguards. He's a celebrity or some sort. And
Which before you jump into it, Deontay, so the music leading up to the boss fight is all tailored towards the boss that you're about to fight.
yes, leading up to the boss fights, the music is not just tailored to, it's sung from the perspective of the boss.
Yep.
So, yeah, and your vocal tracks in there are pretty damn good. But the boss name, the title screen for the boss, like the intro screen for the boss, was the coolest / funniest shit I had seen in a minute. Because it had his name all blinged out and shit while he's just looking posing and shit. You know, on the Scott Pilgrim versus screen shit? It looked like that, but his name was blinged out and it looked hella extra. Like, this is great. And it fit his character too, right? Because while you're beating on him and stuff, he told us from the back, he's like, when you see him ball up and cry, run, because his bodyguards are going to come help him.
Yeah, he just calls his bodyguards. He's
He
like
balls up
crying.
into a corner and cries, and his bodyguards rush out, and it's unblockable. It just smacks you all across the screen.
That's
and
funny.
shit. But oh no, when you get him down
last
to
phase.
that
Oh,
last
yeah.
bar, he starts freaking the fuck out.
He goes nuts.
He pulls out that blicky, and just jumps in the center of the screen and just starts
His-
spraying
his
everywhere with
face
tears
while
coming
he's
down.
Like
his
he's
face.
crying.
So
He
funny.
is
He's
crying.
crying while he's trying to kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
was
Darren.
laughing,
Darren, just like
essentially,
that.
I was
Exactly
laughing
like that.
so hard that it was
That's
was hard to focus. But unfortunately, when we were playing, there was a little bit of lag. It wasn't any fault of the game or
Nah,
the system. It
Steam
was
Deck.
their connection. So they had to have their Steam Deck
Steam
run
Deck.
through like a splitter and then some other shit. So there's a delay on that TV. But if they would have switched it to the other TV, which was only putting out at like 1080, not 1080, but 720, would have been fine. So they had that weird issue of like, we can make it look really good with a delay, or we can make it look subpar and have people, play accurately. So we dealt with the delay. But even with the delay, I styled on that fucking last boss.
Great.
Yeah, you did.
That's the game.
Good, good. All right, y'all. Well, we have been recording for damn near 3 hours, so as much as there's definitely more we could say, I think we are going to cut it here.
That's fair.
Before we do, let's give a quick. I got just a handful of people I want to give quick shout outs to. First and foremost, shout out to Olex, bro. You're hella cool. Olex, we're gonna come play Myth Force.
Yes.
I'm
Boy,
definitely
Trobs,
playing
you
with
ranting
Trobs.
and ravings about this. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, 4 of us, 4-player game. He made a lot of sense.
I watched some
Yes.
gameplay from Trobs already. It looks fun.
We all dungeon crawl, so I'm with it. We got to check out Salt and Sacrifice. Salt and Sacrifice is
was
already
good.
out, but we got to see a special PAX fucking 4-player versus build. I want them to release this game. I don't know if you're listening to me. We made, we were shooting the shit. James Silva, Shane Lynch. I fucks with both of you guys. Ska Studios and Devoured Studios, which was born out of Ska Studios. That's both James and Shane. Shout out to both of you. I got to play Gunbrella over at the...
Gunbrella is cool as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I played that day 5 as well.
Bro, shout out to Doinksoft. I talked to them. It's a 4-person team. I told them we'd love to have them on the podcast, and I certainly do mean it. Last, but certainly not least, Latch. That's my guy. Simon LaChance. I think that's how you pronounce LaChance. Just Shapes and Beats.
Oh yeah, Just Shapes and Beats is fucking
Amazing.
cool, bro.
You
I didn't even
have
play this shit. I just
opened
needed to watch it. That
My
was great.
eyes to something, my friend.
That game's been out for 4 years.
4 years, and
And
that's
none of
4
us knew
years that
about
I have
that shit.
not been playing that. I am sad. Shout out to Latch. You're super great. Love you. Love everybody we met at the party. There's one more person I feel like I should be shouting out. But
All of Poland are great. Love
all
y'all.
of Poland. Steve. Steve.
Which Steve? Stack up, Steve. Stack up, Steve.
So many Steves.
We
Which
met
I
a lot
was-
of people.
I was gonna shout specifically, and I'm holding the assets here. So, the Polish Institute of National Remembrance. They were the
Oh,
first dev
yeah.
team that we
Yes.
made. I got the chance on day 5 to play through all of Cypher's game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is a puzzle game that has been built as a way to teach students in school about some Polish history, and it's a puzzle game for the most part, kind of with like point and click elements. From my understanding, it's a VR game, but you can play it without VR as well. And so I sat and I played through the whole thing from start to finish. Educational experience for sure, a lot of teaching involved, some clever puzzles in the game. But for playing through it, they gave me a goodie bag, and I got a 1,000-piece puzzle and
Nice.
an art book and some other stuff. So thank you to you guys. You were the first people that we talked to also, and so thanks for your hospitality, and you're doing important work out there. So
Definitely.
And the last quick shout out to Stack Up.
Yep, stackup.org.
Yeah, stackup.org. You're doing great work out there.
Steve
regards to
Makuga,
mental health.
my guy, appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words throughout the night. Thank you just for good conversations.
Definitely.
can you quickly talk about what they do, Deontay, like quickly, so that people know?
It's basically promoting and supporting the mental health and health, specifically of focusing on veterans, but overall mental health in regards to what we do. They've been doing a lot of good work,
Via
helping
video
veterans.
games, right? By giving them video games and having them play video games.
I love that connection, dude. It's something that we look at video games as a form of entertainment mostly, but in a way, it can be a way to help, you know.
Get your mind off of things, distract.
Before we get too deep, we just want to say, shout out to you guys. We absolutely love what you're doing. It's a beautiful thing, and I think more people should be involved. No, I feel like if they knew, they would be. So that's what we're doing, spreading that word.
Stackup.org.
Yes.
And then for me, shout out to Varsov Studios, the creators of Giants Uprising.
Oh yes.
Oh, that was from the Polish party. I remember that one.
Yes, it was. So shout out to him and the work that he's doing.
Got a bunch of games we gotta play.
Yeah, so I'm really excited
to
check out Giant Uprising. So shout out to him in his studio.
That and what was it? Cypher's was it Cypher's game?
Yeah, that's the one that I just said I played through.
God, Lord, I
there were so many games. The developer of Loud had to talk to him for a while.
What was that cat game you kept trying to?
Dude, I'm so mad I didn't find the person who created the Mad Cat something, wherever that was. I wanted to find them.
Right.
Okay, I do want to say that there's one moment in the Rogue Party we can mention.
No. The Rogue Party was great, and we don't need to mention anything else.
There's one.
Go ahead.
My guy, we're sitting here having a great time, and the door starts to fucking glow.
Oh my god.
Who is it who walks in, Darren?
Oh, okay, I see what you're
Who
saying.
is it who walks in?
We mentioned him.
Now, let me tell you how hard I clammed up with my ass.
You're the only one in that bitch, bro. Hi.
Yeah,
Mr.
I am the
Shuhei
only
Yoshida.
one. Not
Hello,
me.
sir. Thank you
Not me.
for what you've done
You know
for
why?
the industry,
'Cause
and
I didn't know what
appreciate your
the
work.
fuck I was gonna say.
Justin was so happy when Darren.
At a
told me
loss
that.
for words for the
Justin was
first
like a
time.
kid.
All week.
Hey, I went up and shook that man's hand.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
I didn't want to do it because I was standing right next to fucking Darren. I didn't want to act like we had formed a line to shake this man's hand. I was like, he came to vibe.
That's why you don't, and you do it passively at your own time, my friend.
Yeah, I
had to express that. Shout out Jared James. Shout out, spat some game at you guys about just fucking doing it.
I just never went back, bro. I just sat there. I didn't, and then I think it's my biggest regret of the night.
Before we end, just to quickly wrap up, game of the show. One game of the show for everybody.
Demon
Cookie
School.
Cutter.
What was yours, Darren?
Cookie Cutter.
And yours, Justin?
Demon School.
Ooh, I gotta think.
I'm gonna go with Wavetale for mine.
You've had
Probably
3 hours.
River
to think,
City
my
Girls
nigga.
too. That
There
ass
we
River
go.
City Girls too. That's mine. Yeah.
Cool.
Bet. Well, thank you everybody who has been here for this live episode, and
It's been
a
long.
lot to talk about. And this is not even everything that
It's
happened, so
not.
we'll probably
It's
dive
not.
more into it later on, another episode or whatever. But thank you everybody who's here. Thank you everybody new who's here. Appreciate every new fucking person that we met over this weekend or formed new connections with, because you guys are dope. Like I said at the beginning of the show, you guys honestly made us feel like fucking rock stars at certain points, and
I partied
just,
like one.
it was just nice. Like it was a great time.
Stupid.
And this weekend
Was
is far
fantastic.
better than I could have ever anticipated. Thank you all.
Bro, best
Yeah,
time, best
so-
time of my life so far.
How many of y'all are we gonna see in Boston?
Hey, now that's going to be the next question until PAX East.
Yeah.
That's right. Like I feel like we ask that question mid PAX. Or like, what are you guys feeling about PAX East? We're like, I don't know. By the end of this PAX, we're like, yeah, we're going to East.
Right? But But anyway, everybody, thank you once again. Remember, you can follow us anywhere at Rusty Rupees or Rusty Rupees with 2 Y's on Twitter, because Twitter's some hoes.
Heralds.
As you are here with us now, we stream over at twitch.tv/RustyRupees, where we stream things and games and stuff. Remember, there's 4 of us. We all do different things, so check us all out on these different days. See what you like. Let us know. We appreciate it.
Normally, this day is reserved for Tekken.
Yes, but we had things to talk about. You can follow me anywhere at XXShadowKami. XX, Justin.
RoNinja23.
Deontay.
13 cross, spell it out. Don't be lazy.
And Cameron.
Richie, IE no Y, #indie watch.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you guys, and until next time, stay rusty. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Rusty, boy.
Am I stopping the live too?
No,
Not
you
just
goof.
yet.
We haven't said bye yet.
We haven't actually said bye to the people. This is the premium hour right now.
I'm tired.
Now it's time
I'm
for
sweaty.
Busty Roof.
No.
Bro, I am hot. I don't know if you've seen me intaking all these different things
We
that
know
are
you're
cold.
hot, big boy.
Hey, you
Big
stop
wag,
that
you
right
beefy
now.
Boy. Look at that
Big beef
boy.
boy.
Right there.
Hey.
Big wag, beef
You
boy.
stop that right now.
Big beefy boy. Look
Huge
at
wagyu,
arms.
huge buddy.
Huge
Human.
arms.
Is this just going to be labeled a special episode?
Hey.
No, it's episode
episode
122.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I like how he just tried to see if he could weasel his way into that
special
and not having
episode.
to number.
Okay.
Yes. But thank you everybody who's been here for the live stream, because we are tired, sweaty, and need a shower.
Yes, Seth, I have not forgotten, and I've actually set a reminder for it.
Yes. Let's see.
Also,
about
Seti,
these Nevos.
are we hanging out this weekend? I need to know.
Don't ask me to do shit this weekend.
Nope, I'm not asking
Fuck
you to do
each
anything.
and every one of you. I mean,
He said,
Fuck.
"Fuck each and every one of you."
I get it.
That's nice.
We can. Bet. We don't
We
have
just got home.
plans.
I already want to do shit.
Right, exactly.
Hey,
I'm just
man,
like,
I'm here for my friendos.
The brand new Justin.
I'm here for me
this
friendos.
nigga literally just as 5 seconds ago. I'm tired. We hanging out on Saturday.
What am I not? I'm going to sleep after this, absolutely. But I'm making plans for my weekend.
You enjoy that.
Justin is a brand new nigga, bro.
Says the nigga who's about to fly to New York.
Right?
That's the same.
No,
old
yeah, but
nigga.
that's always.
That's the
always
same
been
nigga.
You'll
I'm
also
talking about
Same
Justin.
old
I'm talking
You're-
about Justin who don't like the outside world.
This man wants more journeys in Middle. Yes, sir, I do.
Yo, all the people, fucking, they're like, oh my god, the rupees are so nice. They're the nicest guys I've met.
There were so many
Like,
times when I was like, we are assholes to
oh,
each
you
other.
Don't know.
We are such dicks. Don't listen to certain episodes. You'll be like, are they fucking friends?
Right? For real.
I thought that was your friend.
Fuck them.
Right?
Fuck 'em.
Fuck him.
But be like, I can say that. You can't say that.
Exactly. You can't say that. I get to say that. I've earned that right.
And Seth, can we do curry?
Jesus Christ.
Just
Y'all
saying.
on your own terms. Anyway, y'all, let's see who we're gonna raid. Let's
Yeah,
see who's
I'm hot.
on, who's
It's
on.
I'm also tired.
You know what?
What, fizzy or
Fucking
Tony?
Ray. No.
Oh, Ray?
Ray's streaming that
How? Why don't I
big
see that?
bitch.
Okay. Dasho, can we have curry?
Shut up. Talk to him on your own time. Love you guys. Thank you everybody who's been here tonight. Go on and give a shout out to Papa Ray. Ray 3473.
Yes, sir.
He's playing some Battlefield 1. Go and make fun of him.
Good night,
and just tell
everybody.
him I love him. But until then, thank you guys. We appreciate you. The raid's starting now. I'm tired. Thank you. once
So
again.
sleepy.
So sleepy. I'm still
Wow.
Energy. Weekend
Big
energy
fail
still
from
here.
us. Okay.
From what?
Oh, we weren't following Ray from the Rupees account.
Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Until next time, stay rusty. Okay,
Johnny.
bye.
Johnny.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
He already left.